to the light of grace, just like Lazarus. Oh, you brought me back to life. And where there was dead religion, now there is living faith. All of my hope and freedom I found in Jesus' name. Just like Lazarus, oh, you brought me back to life. No longer I who live, but Christ in me. For I've been born again. My heart is free. The hope of heaven before me. The grave behind. Hallelujah. You brought me back to life. When something says I am guilty, I point to the price you paid. When something says I'm not worthy, I point to that empty grave. Just like Lazarus, oh, you brought me back to life. No longer I who live, but Christ in me. For I've been born again. My heart is free. The hope of heaven before me. The grave behind. Hallelujah. You brought me back to life. How can I begin to thank you for all that you've done for me? Jesus, to fully praise you, it will take all eternity. Just like Lazarus, oh, you brought me back to life. Oh, you brought me back to life. Oh, you brought me back to life. Yeah. Oh, you brought me back to life. And no longer I who live, but Christ in me. For I've been born again. My heart is free. The hope of heaven before me. The grave behind. Hallelujah. You brought me back to life. No longer I who live, but Christ in me. For I've been born again. My heart is free. The hope of heaven before me. The grave behind. Hallelujah. You brought me back to life. Oh, you brought me back to life. Hey. And the enemy thought he had me, but Jesus said, you are mine. Oh, the enemy thought he had me, but Jesus said, you are mine.
Well, hello. Welcome to the 2023 District Conference Business Meeting. My name is Candace.
My name's Jeremy, and we are so glad that you have joined us. We know we're just getting started. It's a little bit early yet, so we may have a few viewers on, but obviously not everybody's here yet, but we're here.
We're here.
We are here.
We're excited. We've got a lot to do this morning, don't we?
We do. It's going to be a great day.
Yep.
Going to have lots of fun.
So much fun. We're going to do a little bit of voting, watching some reports, but we will also have the fun. That's everything that we're going to be doing today.
Everything. Our main job is to make this fun, no pressure. So if that doesn't happen today, you can blame us.
But don't.
But don't.
But don't.
We need to just a couple quick things logistically, and we're going to come back at 9 o'clock. So we're going to leave you, and we're going to have some footage that you're going to see in just a few moments. But before we do that, just a couple things. If you're having any issues at all, you can hit us up in the chat online. But also just go to our website. That's the easiest place. All the links are there, voting, all of that stuff is there on the website. So the best place to go is there.
Yes, right on that front homepage, we've got the live stream button, which you're already there, so you don't need that one. But then the digital booklet is right below that, and that is the button. That is the digital booklet. You're going to need that for the entire morning. It'll help you. It's got all the links for all the documents that you're going to need, a brief overview of everything that's going on. So make sure you have that in front of you today. Yeah.
The other thing is if you are having any issues, if you lose the stream or we go down for some strange reason, power outage, whatever, just always be checking your email. That's where we're going to communicate with you today. We'll do our best to send emails out in a timely fashion. And so if there are any issues today with the stream, check your email. I think that's all. We're going to be back at 9 with some fun, some contests, some prizes, all that fun stuff, some business. We're going to do it all today. Everything you can think of, we're doing today. That's true.
So grab a coffee, grab your digital booklet, grab a friend, and we will see you here back at 9.
Forget the moment I heard you call my name out of the grip of darkness into the light of grace, just like Lazarus. Oh, you brought me back to life. And where there was dead religion, now there is living faith. All of my hope and freedom I found in Jesus' name, just like Lazarus. Oh, you brought me back to life.
As leaders, there are times throughout our leadership when leading is lonely. We feel isolated, like there are very few people who get what we do. We long for spaces where we don't have to be on, spaces free of expectations. We look to rub shoulders with others who we can learn from, be challenged by, and share the same passions as we do. We crave a place where we can be authentic and safely speak our concerns, challenges, and fears out loud. As leaders, we not only crave this, we need this.
I was close to you. I was close to you. To carry me back to that moment in time when the colors and fragments were beautifully bright. How I long for you. How I long for you. 'Cause out here in the dark, underneath the canopy of stars, constellations falling from your heart. They tell me that I'm not alone, 'cause honestly I'm so alone. Promise me I'm not alone.
As leaders, there are times throughout our leadership when leading is lonely. We feel isolated, like there are very few people who get what we do. We long for spaces where we don't have to be on, spaces free of expectations. We look to rub shoulders with others who we can learn from, be challenged by, and share the same passions as we do. We crave a place where we can be authentic and safely speak our concerns, challenges, and fears out loud. As leaders, we not only crave this, we need this.
In the wild, in the fierceness of the waters, the tidal waves, every ripple in the ocean is calling my name. And even in the storm, I won't be afraid. Your sovereign hand remains. 'Cause you are a mountain to the hill I'm climbing. And you are the chaos to my perfect timing. Oh, 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 oh. You're the God of the wilderness. Oh, 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 oh. You're the God of the wilderness. You're there in the distance, building the horizon. Nothing is better than you, and I'm not afraid to show you my weakness, my failures and flaws. Lord, you've seen them all, and you still call me friend. 'Cause the God of the mountain is the God of the valley. There's not a place your mercy and grace won't find me again. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. Lord, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing.
As leaders, there are times throughout our leadership when leading is lonely. We feel isolated, like there are very few people who get what we do. We long for spaces where we don't have to be on, spaces free of expectations. We look to rub shoulders with others who we can learn from, be challenged by, and share the same passions as we do. We crave a place where we can be authentic and safely speak our concerns, challenges, and fears out loud. As leaders, we not only crave this, we need this.
Let the King of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, he is my song. You are good, good. Oh, you are good, good. Oh, you are good, good. Oh, forget the moment I heard you call my name out of the grip of darkness.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2023 District Conference Business Meeting. We are so excited for this morning. My name is Candace. I'm going to be one of your hosts, and
I'm Jeremy, and I am the other one of your hosts. Two hosts today, one conference. We're here all day. Well, not all day, for a little bit, the next couple hours.
yes,
It's going to be a good day.
it's going to be a great day. We're super excited. Thank you so much for taking time out of your incredibly busy schedules to be here with us today for some very important things, right?
Very important stuff happening today, business conference, all kinds happening. Tell us a little bit what is happening, just so our viewers, our credential holders, our leaders out there across the EOND family will know what's taking place today.
Yes, I'd love to let you know. So we're going to do some voting. We're going to
Voting?
watch some reports. We're going to have a few prizes, some contests, some different things going on. So that's why
Sounds interesting.
That's why we're here. But we just want to draw your attention to the digital booklet at this time. So if you don't have that, make sure you have that. You can access it by going to eond.org. The digital booklet has everything you will possibly
Everything.
need. Everything.
Everything.
Everything. It is your guide.
Recipes. It's got, no recipes.
No recipes. Jeremy's on track. So,
Raisin butter tart recipe?
Raisin butter
No?
tart. We were
Okay.
having a very
Sorry.
thrilling conversation about raisins
We
this
were.
morning. So,
We were.
you know, no short of
We could put that in a
conversation
poll,
here.
maybe a vote, online chat.
Yes.
Raisins in your butter tarts or not? Go ahead, answer now. Just kidding. We do have online chat, though.
We do have an online chat. I'm so glad you brought that up. We
You're
have an
welcome.
online chat that we would love for you to interact. We have a lot of hockey talk going on right now, so
Yeah,
feel
and
free to,
who is doing the hockey chat?
A lot of-
a lot of hockey talk from somebody, Pastor Mark Scarr. It seems to be really chatting it up in the hockey, probably because his team's out now. That would make a lot of sense.
I'm staying out of this. So we got the chat going on, and make sure that you engage with that. We don't want to feel alone. We want to know that you're out there. We want to chat with you. We want to talk with you. It will be closed during the business portion of the meeting. So whenever you see us, it's going to be up there.
Business is all business. No hockey talk during business.
Yeah, no hockey talk during business.
Got it.
And so in order to make sure that you can engage in the chat every time, just refresh your browser as you go on so that you can make sure you can see the chat and you can engage with us, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Fun. Speaking of fun, that was a beautiful lob you just passed me. Speaking of fun, why do chickens have so much fun? Because...
Wow.
Sorry, the studio audience is really, really silent today, so that just felt like it just fell upon deaf ears. But hopefully you're laughing maybe in your seat.
Because
we've got some...
Jeff liked it. It was good.
We've got some dad jokes maybe ready today, some surprises even, just to keep Cheryl on her toes today. We like to do that.
We're going to have
a good day.
It's going to be a great day. We can't wait. Now, we should probably talk a little bit about our theme this morning.
Probably. It would make sense. That's what they've asked us to do, so we should at least do one of the things they've asked us to do. Yeah.
Yes, we should. So, Jeremy, our theme is Consecrated.
It is.
This is our theme for the entire year. Jason's going to come and talk to us in a little bit, but I want to hear your thoughts. What comes to mind when you think of the word consecrated?
Well, immediately, what comes to my mind when I think consecrated, I think set apart. That's the first thing that goes off. You know, something special, something's been set apart, it's been consecrated for a specific purpose. Just that whole idea of it being special, it being different, set apart. That's what comes to mind for me. But what about you?
Well, funny enough, very similarly, that's what comes to mind for me. But I also get the image of like a fire, and I don't know why, but I get the
images are good.
Yeah, thank you. An image of like a fire, and if you're set apart, but this fire is like refining and purifying because, you know, being consecrated, I think of it more as like an action to the act of being consecrated.
I like that.
So that's more what comes to my mind and all of that. We would love to hear what comes to your mind when you hear of the word consecrated. It's early, you've got your coffee. Let's get our brains going. If you're in a room and you're watching with some people, turn to them, chat with them, tell them what comes to mind when you think of the word consecrated, pick each other's brains a little bit, and let's get this going. Let's start talking about our theme.
Let's get it going. Welcome to conference. And speaking of the theme, consecrated, our district superintendent, give him a silent clap in audience here, or maybe a loud one wherever you're watching. Let's give it up for our district superintendent, Jason Luscombe, as he comes this morning.
Thanks, Jeremy and Candace. We're already having a good time here in the studio. We say good morning to you. Thanks for logging in this morning and being part of this. We're coming to you from Oshawa at Livewire Studio. And I just want to, before we begin our business conference officially, it's Wednesday. And Wednesday is when we have our staff devotional time. So I thought it'd be appropriate in our business conference to unpack our conference theme a little bit, but also have a devotional moment the way we normally would around our district table. So you're all part of our district table today as we have our devotion. So if you have your Bibles, I'm going to be reading from our conference theme, which is 2 Timothy 2, verse 20 to 22. And if you've noticed, our business conference has been unhitched from our ministry conference, and that's very intentional, because we want to focus on both exclusively to allow us to focus well on our business, to get all the things done we need to efficiently, and to make it as accessible as possible for you. But also when it's time for ministry, to not be distracted or pulled off in other directions, but to really focus on an important time of ministry. So I hope this is serving you well. And our conference theme actually came from our Upper Zoom prayer meetings on Tuesdays. So I just want to give a shout out to all my Upper Zoom prayer people. As we were praying last year, there was a theme that began to emerge among us week after week, and this idea of being consecrated. We were praying, asking the Lord for help. We're living in dark times. We're living in wicked times, and we're saying, God, help us, revive us, strengthen us, give us wisdom, give us discernment. We need things from you. That's how we were praying. And the Lord was responding back prophetically and through His Word as we were praying and waiting on Him by saying, I have something I need for you to do. And He was putting it back on us. And that's really where this scripture came from, out of those times of prayer. So read with me 2 Timothy 2:20-22, it says, "In a wealthy home, some utensils are made of gold and silver, and some are made of wood and clay. The expensive utensils are used for special occasions, and the cheap ones are used for everyday use. If anyone cleanses themselves," I want you to notice that, "of what is unfit, they will be a vessel of honor, sanctified, useful to the master, and prepared for every good work." That's the point. So run from anything that stimulates youthful lusts, and instead pursue righteous living, faithfulness, love, and peace, and enjoy the companionship of those who call on the Lord with pure hearts. So earlier, Candace and Jeremy were asking the question, what does the word consecrated mean, or consecration? It's a word that we don't tend to use a lot in this modern day and modern era, sadly, and we're not as familiar with it. But this idea of consecration means devotion. It means to be separated, holiness. Remember that word, holiness, dedication, set apart. It's something that we set apart for useful work. It's kept for something more meaningful. It's not common, it's not cheap, it's something costly. It's consecrated. So as the Apostle Paul, in our context here of 2 Timothy, in chapter 2 to chapter 3, really what he's saying to Timothy, a young pastor, is he's saying, listen, if you're going to be effective in ministry and in doing your work, here's what you got to know. And he shares the ethos of a minister, of being a soldier, being an athlete, being a farmer, different concepts of working hard, being disciplined. And he's trying to help them how to be effective in his day. And then when you go to chapter 3, he says, here's why, because this is what's coming. There's going to be a day when people aren't going to want to hear truth. In the last days, it's going to be difficult. Lovers of pleasure, lovers of self, lovers of money, godliness, right? A form of godliness, but denying the power, all these kinds of things. He's saying these things are coming, and so you need to be prepared to be an effective minister. And right in the middle of those two things is our text. And he gives us a really important key, a truth, on how, in part, to be effective, to be a minister in a really wicked time and dark generation. And I felt that this was so appropriate as the Lord was speaking to us in prayer, and the days that you and I are living in, to call us as a district community to live consecrated lives. So really what the Lord is saying is, if you're going to be effective in dark times, you need to live differently. If you're going to be effective in wicked times, you have to live with purity. There needs to be a difference between us and the world if we're going to be a bright light, if we're going to be salt and light to this generation. So consecration, I want to end off by saying it's something that you and I do. There's a sanctifying work of the Spirit that He does in us, but consecration, if you notice in the text, is something that we do. It's a part of something that we do in response. And that's what the Lord was calling us to in our times of prayer, saying, you're asking for me to help you, you do your part. I noticed in the Old Testament that any time they were getting ready to do something, to cross the Jordan, to go and possess, there was a time of personal consecration. I wonder if the Lord is highlighting this in our hearts and in our spirits this year, because the Lord has good work for us to do in this next year. Can someone believe that with me? That God has good work for us to do, and so therefore He's calling us to prepare ourselves and to do our part. So if you notice, the Bible says that we are to turn from sin, we turn away from sin, and we turn towards righteousness. That's our part. We run away from the things of ungodliness, and we run towards the things of godliness as we pursue Him. Friends, that's our theme this year, in being consecrated, being set apart for the Lord, so that we are prepared for the Master for every good and useful work. That's what I want to do, and I pray that's what you want to do, and that's what the Lord would use us to do in this new year. Would you pray with me as we get set to begin our conference together? I just want to pray and dedicate this time to the Lord. Pray for me and pray for you. So, Father, thank you for this moment of devotion together where we could gather this way and open the Word together, open our hearts, and pray. And so, Father, I thank you for this theme that was birthed in a time of just calling on you, saying, Lord, help us. We're living in a wicked hour, Father, that desperately needs the bright, pure light of Jesus Christ. And you've asked us as your ministers to reflect that to a lost and dark generation. And so, God, I pray that as we're asking you to release your power to this generation, to make yourself known in this hour, that we would do our part to prepare ourselves as willing vessels that your Spirit can fill and impart and release through us to our communities and to this generation. So be with us, we pray, on this broadcast and guide us through all the business and all the conversations we need to have. To the glory of God we pray, in Jesus' name, amen. I'm going to invite Jeremy and Candace to come back, and we'll see you soon as the business begins. God bless you.
Well, thank you, Jason. That was a great word on our theme for this entire year, 2023, Consecrated. Mm-hmm. And you guys have shared some of your thoughts in the chat as well, just about what comes to mind when the word consecrated is there.
Yeah.
And we'd like to do something a little bit fun with that word now, because we're supposed to bring the fun. We want to do our first contest. Our first game is coming up right now. Now, just thought we should probably clarify that the word we're going to be using for the game is none other than consecrated. Now, I was getting some personal texts and just some comments just wondering what word are we actually saying. Maybe it's not clear out there. Somebody actually asked, are we saying constipated? But we're not saying that at all. It's actually consecrated. And so this is why we brought the Tims, This helps to avoid all of that. But plug Tim Hortons is what we're going to do because it's our sponsor for today. And so
yes.
Anyways, we better, before I ramble too much, we better get to the actual contest. What are we doing? How are we playing? What are we playing for? Candace, tell us.
Okay, so consecrated is our word. And yes, we are playing a word game with that. We have a challenge for you. We want to see how many words can you create using the letters in the word consecrated. We want you to create a list, write it down on a piece of paper, do it in your, like on the Notes app on your phone. How many words can you use, or how many words can you create using that word? And we'll give you a prize. Now, before we get to the prize, we're going to go over the rules.
I won't tell them yet.
Yeah.
Rules. We need rules because people, especially Christians,
boundaries.
Got to follow the rules. Boundaries, guardrails.
Absolutely, all those words.
What's the new buzzword?
So you can only use the letters in the word. You can't reuse letters in the same word. So, for example, there is one T in the word consecrated. You can't have two T's in a word. Now, you can use the T in different words as you go down.
So, tutu would not work.
Tutu would not work. No.
For multiple reasons.
Multiple reasons. All right, we're on our roll today. Okay. So you can't use the letter. No hyphenated words. They have to be actual words.
No hyphens.
No hyphens.
Did you just make that up?
No, I thought we discussed that. Did we not?
We did. You're right.
He's throwing me under the bus. All of those. I think those are all the rules so far. Why don't we tell them what they're working towards? Because then they'll actually want to do
it. That's exciting.
Yeah.
What are we working towards? We're working towards, we have another conference coming up with the theme Consecrated.
Whoa.
Coming up in the fall. Today's business. The fall is party. Actually, it's ministry, which is a party. That's why you joined the party and you're in ministry. But we're going to be doing that up at Deerhurst again in October. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have lots of fun. Those of you who were at Breathe, this is a little bit different. But same venue. And so that's coming out. So we want to give away a prize for that. Free night stay. Is that right? That's what we're playing for?
Yeah, free 2-night stay.
2 nights.
2 nights.
2 nights.
And a $150 voucher.
Whoa.
I know.
Hello.
You want to win this prize.
I guess so. So all I have to do is throw in their words, however many words they made up. You can write it on a piece of paper. You can put it in your notes file, on an app, on your phone. But you need to get it to us. Now, how are they getting it to us?
They're going to text it to the number that's on the screen. So the number should pop up.
So
There it
text a
is.
pic, take a picture of it on your phone, send a notes file, whatever. Text it to that number. Whose number? That is my number, by the way. I'm just giving it away because I live to give. That is my motto in life. And so
Yeah.
my number's on the screen, so
Yes.
text it to me.
Yes.
When do they have it till?
By 9:30.
You don't have long.
You don't have long. You've
don't
got
have long.
13 minutes.
13 minutes. Get on it. So
Go.
start working now. Get that brain going. I know it's early. Get some coffee in you.
Yep.
And get on this. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be great fun. We should go to business now.
We should go to business. That is what we're here to do.
Yes.
And so without further ado, business. It's time for business. We'll pass it over to the business table.
Jason.
Thanks, Jeremy and Candace. So this is the business table. So if you don't know, to this side, see what I did there? This is David Blakely. He is the assistant to the superintendent for resources. And to his right is Jeff Laird, who is the newly elected assistant to the superintendent ministry. And to his right is the Honorable Cheryl Rogers, who has helped all of this happen today with her planning and preparation. So you're going to see a lot of us today on the screen, and we're about ready to jump in. So if you have your voting device handy, get ready for it, because we're going to be making our way towards our first resolution. But I'm going to officially call the meeting to order right now. And in doing that, there's a few people that we want to acknowledge and welcome right out of the gate. So I want to give a warm welcome to all of our lay delegates who are watching with us. We appreciate the involvement of our lay delegates every year in our conferences and in our ministry opportunities. Thank you for everyone who's taken time out of your day to participate on behalf of your local church. We do welcome you. We also want to welcome those who are new to our district that have come in the last 2 years from our 2021 district conference until today. Welcome. We've had a number of you either transfer in or sign on as new credential holders. So this would be technically your first district conference, and we welcome you, and I'm glad you're participating here with us. Thirdly, we want to acknowledge and welcome our national officers who are joining us today. We've got David Wells, who is watching the broadcast. He's our General Superintendent, and the newly elected General Secretary Treasurer. You may know him. Craig Burton is also participating today. We welcome you, David and Craig. I've taken place now in 2 general executive meetings since becoming district superintendent, and I have seen firsthand the level of work and the agenda that these men carry along with the other district or national officers. And we do express appreciation to you both and to Murray for all the work that you do as you serve us as districts. So thank you for being here. And I wanted to add just a little note as well that I've got to see Craig in action in some of those meetings. And as a district that has sent Craig to national office, Craig, we're very proud of you and the work that you're doing at the national office. I want to also give a special welcome to our itinerant ministers. We have a number of them that are traveling around the district. Our specialized ministries, thank you for all the work that you do. We've got great chaplains in our district. Back in the fall, we had a special day just to honor them and to bring them together, and we had a great time. We're very proud of the work that our chaplains are doing. A special welcome to all of our Mission Canada workers. We've added a few since our last conference, and a welcome to any global workers who may be on the call as well. I'm aware of Dan and Donna Davies, special friends of mine that are based out of Liberia. They invited me to Liberia back in 2019. So Dan and Donna, God bless you. And anyone else who may be on the call, on the broadcast that I'm not aware of, please just in the chat as you have opportunity, help us know where you're watching from, and we'll be able to acknowledge you as well. So we want to begin today with an omnibus resolution. There's a number of things in this first resolution that we want to present. So we're going to begin with the voting roster report. So if we can bring that up on the screen, thank you. So here is our roster report. We've got 105 ordained ministers, 17 licensed ministers, 12 in recognition of ministry, 2 part of the deaconess, 2 ministry-related spousal, and 8 lay delegates for a total voting membership of 146. Thank you for that. Secondly, we would like to bring up the 2023 conference committees. These are a number of committees that are represented here. So, if you can see that on the screen, we've got our parliamentary chair, Ewan Butler. He's in studio here with us. Thank you, Ewan. Our roster chair, Nicole Pedersen. She's also in studio helping us today. Nomination committee was made up of Stuart Hunter, Jimmy, and Pauline. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your service in this process. We have our minutes survey committee, David, Cheryl, Peter Snow. Thank you for all of your help in serving us. Our scrutineer committee, we've got Godfrey Adderley and Crystal Moore. They're in studio here today, and they're the ones who are helping us with all of our moving and seconding here in studio for some of the resolutions. And lastly, our Constitutional Review Committee is made up by David Blakely, myself, Crystal Moore, Joe, and Gordon. Thank you so much for all of your help and your preparation, particularly as we talk about our new Constitution that is being proposed here today. Thank you for all the work that you have done. We have minutes, district conference minutes. That's part of your district conference booklet, in the digital booklet. And it's minutes from 3 separate special meetings. Now just think about that. Cheryl Rogers normally has to prepare for district conference once every 2 years. She has done 4 in the last 2 years because of the 2021 district conference. We had a special meeting back in July for the election of district superintendent, and then we had a special meeting in October for the election of the assistant to the superintendent for ministries. So there's been a lot of special meetings and minutes, and those minutes are in the digital booklet as well that we're going to be approving in just a moment. And then we've got credential changes from April the 14th, 2021, right up to April the 11th, 2023, as presented in the digital booklet. So those are the items for the first resolution. So if we can bring up that first resolution, please, on the screen. And I'll give some instruction on how we're going to vote on that resolution in a moment. But this is resolution number 1. Be it resolved that the following be approved: the roster report as presented, the voting bar for the 2023 Eastern Ontario and Nunavut District Business Conference shall include registered voting members, and then the conference committees as presented, the district conference minutes dated May 5th, that was our last district conference, the special conference minutes dated July 20th, 2022. That's where we elected the district superintendent. And the special meeting minutes dated October 3rd, 2022. That's where we elected Jeff Laird, as presented in the digital booklet. And then lastly, the credential changes from April 14th, 2021 to April the 11th, 2023, as presented in the digital booklet. Well, that was a lot to say. So hopefully you caught all of that. So that is resolution 1 all together in one omnibus resolution. So we're going to come to our first ballot, and I need to just help set that up for you. So our process this year is what we've done in the past for our online conferences. We're using a software called Election Runner. Most of you would be familiar with this, but I just want to take you through the process one more time to make sure it's very clear and you understand what's happening. Election Runner is our online voting platform, and during the business session, each time a ballot is open or launched, Election Runner will send you an email, and that email is going to go to the email that you used when you registered for this conference. So make sure, if you've got multiple emails, that you go to the email you used when you registered for Consecrated. That will help you, and that'll allow you to find it quickly. So please ensure that you have access to your registration email all throughout this business conference. That'll help you. When you receive your email from Election Runner with the invitation to vote, all you have to do is click on the link inside that email, and that will direct you to the ballot itself. And please note that only those who are eligible to vote, that have registered and you're eligible, you will be the one that receives a ballot. So there are many people on the call today that are watching and participating. Thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. But only those eligible who have registered will receive an email to vote from Election Runner. We'll also be happy to answer any questions as we go along today from voting delegates regarding any of today's business or reports. All we'd ask is that you please clearly identify yourself. It's our desire and intent to provide answers to these questions as quickly and efficiently as we can. So questions can be directed to questions@eod.paoc.org. So we'll leave that up on the screen for you so that you know where to send your questions. That'll help us to be able to receive them efficiently and respond as quickly as we can to anything that's pertinent to the business that we're doing here today. It should also be understood that some questions we may reserve for after the fact to respond individually if we're not able to get to it in time or it's not part of what we're doing specifically here in the meeting, but we'll do our best. Okay, so we are ready now to declare this first resolution, this first ballot. So resolution number 1 is now open. The ballot will be closed when the timer on the screen reaches 0. So I'm going to ask Nicole to launch that ballot now. So you can look for that in your email. And again, follow the instructions. When you open your email, you'll see that button. Click on that. That'll take you to the ballot. And then go through those different items on the ballot. Click yes to vote. And it'll give you a confirmation. While we wait for the results of this first resolution, I'm going to present my report, and that's going to be presented to you by way of video, and we'll show you that right now. Friends, as Pentecostal leaders, we believe that Jesus is returning soon, and that the Father has sent the Holy Spirit to empower us as witnesses. Therefore, may we consecrate ourselves to God's use in these last days. Since we last met in 2021, the district has transitioned significantly. The district superintendent, the assistant to the superintendent ministry, and a few new district executive members were all newly elected to their roles. My tenure as district superintendent officially began on August 1st of last year. Ironically, my first day of work was a day of rest because of the civic holiday. However, I've had a full schedule since that first day off. The district resumed our regular ministries and camps post-pandemic, and like most of you in the local church, we are evaluating everything that we're doing. When King David was being established, the Bible says in 1 Chronicles 12:32 that the sons of Issachar who came to help were those who understood the times and knew what Israel should do. So, likewise, we're in a particular time that requires understanding and strategy. And so, as I've been working, I've also been watching, asking questions, and evaluating effectiveness to assess this season and what we need to do next. I'm encouraged by the intentionality to become healthier leaders that I see growing among us. Jeremy Albrecht and Candace Bell have helped us begin a movement to better leadership health. The healthy leadership clusters have quickly grown from their initial launch. As of this recording, we have 44 clusters with 153 leaders participating. These groups are a step in the right direction. And we see this initiative not as creating a program, but rather as curating a culture of leading ourselves and caring for one another. If you still need to be part of a group like this, contact us today, and our team will help you. Since the early days of the pandemic, I began praying with other leaders every Tuesday morning. It was in my heart to gather leaders for prayer, but I didn't know how or when we could do that. When the lockdowns happened, most of us jumped on Zoom, and I realized that was how we could call people to pray across the district. So since then, we have a growing group of leaders committed to praying for Canada, the fellowship, our district, and one another. Our conference theme was actually birthed through prayer with this group. These times of prayer and waiting on the Lord have been vital to me. And as a result, Tuesday's Upper Zoom has become a non-negotiable part of my schedule. So I want to invite you to the Upper Zoom, Tuesday mornings from 8 o'clock to 8:45 a.m. If you can't Join then join in the prayer movement happening across the district by setting time aside each week to pray. The Breathe Retreat last fall was a wonderful district gathering after a long season apart. I'm grateful to Craig and the district executive for recognizing the importance of caring for leaders. Breathe helped to set the tone for how we want to minister to you at the ministry conference this fall. We want to keep conference accessible financially and leave room for you to rest as you receive ministry. For those reasons, we've intentionally unhitched our business conference from the ministry conference to allow the necessary time for both as part of our conference year. Unfortunately, space is limited for the fall conference, so book your spot now. So as we look ahead, I see adjustments to be made for the times we now find ourselves in. Strengthening our leadership pipeline must always be important to us. Jesus told us 2,000 years ago that the harvest was plentiful, and therefore to pray to the Lord and ask him to send laborers. That is nothing new for us. However, the need for leaders among us is especially urgent. A demographic shift is happening in most industries as the need for skilled laborers and leadership is pressing. Said another way, our margins are thin when it comes to leaders, and we therefore must pay great attention to how we identify, disciple, and train those who will be the next leaders to lead us forward. The national and district statistics from the ACLR show a glaring need to make disciples better as a movement. Discipleship is the main thing that we've been entrusted with as the church. It must be our focus from now on. So like other spiritual practices, we will only be strong in the fundamentals of ministry if we learn how to disciple well. Discipleship is a major part of what we're called to do. So I want to put more time and attention into deconstructing what we do to ensure our ministries are built up upon clear, healthy, biblical fundamentals. Additionally, the district officers want to find new ways to assist you in the trenches of church leadership and ministry. We need new tools and training to be able to deliver the resources you need in our current ministry climate. We desire to resource you well and provide what you need to courageously break through barriers that limit healthy change. A few weeks ago, I took my first trip to the north. I was privileged to spend time with Pastor Wayne and Linda Moore in the Iqaluit Pentecostal Church and to see firsthand what the Bill Prankard Evangelistic Association is doing all throughout Nunavut. I was inspired to see the convergence of ministries that the Lord is building, but I was also burdened to see how much more could be done. Nunavut is us, and currently we only have one church in all of that territory. However, there is an emerging church that the Lord is building, and we need to be part of it. I foresee opportunities with collaboration with teams and funding and mentoring as we leverage the resource of one another and the gifts that God has given us. I want to thank Craig Burton for his faithful and careful leadership among us. Craig led us well for many years, and he prepared us well for the transition, which has made my start much easier than it could have been. Craig, I'm grateful to have served under your leadership for over 5 years, and we are very proud of you as a district family as you now serve us nationally as the General Secretary-Treasurer of the PAOC. I'm also very thankful to work with quality people on the district team. A special thank you to the officers, our specialists, and the entire ministry and administrative team. Last year required a lot from you, and I'm proud of you for how you served. Thank you to our district executive, who volunteers their time to serve you by serving us. These are all busy people who make time to make us better. Thank you for your faithful and wise service and your encouragement and support. I could not serve you well without my assistant, Cheryl Rogers. Cheryl serves you well by serving our office well. So thank you, Cheryl, for all your hard work. And finally, thank you to my wife, Colleen, and my 2 sons. My family have always supported and encouraged me through the years of ministry. As I've taken on this new assignment, they have helped me even more, and I'm grateful for them. So thank you, friends, for the opportunity to serve you this way. God bless.
Thank you, Jason, for that report. You gave a shout out to us as a team. We are grateful for you as our leader. So thank you so much for how you've stepped in and just led us in that second half of the year. And yeah, we love our team, don't we?
We do. We have a great team, all with the same heart, unified heart to serve this district the best way we know how. We're here because you're there, as has so often been said over the years, but it's so true.
Yeah. So
great report. First report. One down.
One down.
One down. You did it. You did it. Well done. That was filmed and taped right here in this studio. Again, shout outs to Livewire and John Butler and his team.
Yes.
Just keeping us well lit today. We have lighting. I feel like I'm getting a bit of a tan. So after today, I'll be ready to hit the beach.
So great. So we've talked a lot about teams so far.
I like half the time I just like Candace's reaction that's really why I'm here, is just to get a reaction from her.
Well, I can deliver because I wear my emotions on my face. Well, speaking of teams, Jeremy.
And emotions,
And emotions. We have another contest for you that we want to talk about. So we are here with our team. We know that some of you are watching with your teams. And so we have another contest. We want you to take a pic with your team.
That's short for picture for anyone over 60.
Just like it's like we're doing here. Say
just,
hi.
Hey, there it is, little selfie.
Great. And then you're going to take a picture, and then you're going to send it to the number that's on the screen. It is my number this time.
So if you want to spam Candace's phone, we have another challenge, a separate challenge. We'll talk about that later.
905-925-7778.
777. You know, 7 is a heavenly number in Scripture.
Well, what can I say?
It's a number of completion.
Rogers was good to me.
So, anyways, there's that.
So that's it. Now, you only have, Jeremy, we only have 10 minutes to get your pictures in. So send them in quickly because you need to get them in before we come back on the screen here. And then we're going to announce our next winner. Oh, what are they winning?
What are they winning, Candace? What are they winning? I think we are so generous today. We are actually going to supply food for an entire staff team today. Again, whoever gets the picture in first is going to go in a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not
getting
first.
There.
Well,
tough crowd. You're going to get your entry in for a draw. We're going to do it live right here. We're going to draw a name.
Yes, we are.
A team.
Yeah.
And you're going to get Uber Eats gift card or whatever. Maybe you're a little more rural in your location. You don't have Uber Eats. That's fine. We'll just give you a gift card or money to buy lunch for your staff.
You can use it today or another time. We'll set that up. But the point is, take a picture, send it to the number. You'll get in a draw.
That is the point. That is the point. The other thing we need to mention while we're up here is that the first contest is closed. It closed at 9:30. I know some of you, I'm still getting texts right now on my phone, but the contest is over, so don't bother submitting your submission now because it's just going to get a delete, unfortunately, even though you worked really hard. Some of you actually cheated. I'm just going to say that. I have to. You used Chat GPT. And over 39 million submissions out of the word consecrated. Who knew? So we can't count that, obviously, and I can't count that high, so yeah. Anyways, I think that's all for this segment, though, right? We've covered everything.
Yep,
so
we're done.
We're going to get back to resolution number 1, or ballot number 1. Sorry, not resolution, but
we should leave that up to them.
Let's leave the business to where the business needs to happen. Back to the business table.
Thanks, Jeremy and Candace. Hey, just before we get to the results of the ballot, there's a few more people I wanted to acknowledge. It's a special moment for me because I know that there are 3 former district superintendents who are watching this broadcast today. So Gordon Upton, we acknowledge and honor you, sir. Stuart Hunter, who texted me this morning, just a word of encouragement. We appreciate and acknowledge and honor you, sir. You've been a real gift to me. And obviously Craig Burton and Wendy are both watching. I got a text from both of them with encouragement and support. We love you guys. We're proud of you. And thank you for being part of our broadcast here today. One other person I wanted to acknowledge is Frank Patrick. Frank was part of our team, and Craig used to refer to him as the fourth person in the fire. And that's a great description because Frank was available to all of us just as a church health consultant and coach and mentor. And he continues to do that informally, but formally he was part of our team. And back in January, he ended his tenure with us. It's a new season for Frank and Maureen and their family and for them as a couple. So Frank, I just wanted to thank you for all of your hard work. It was a joy to work with you. And thank you for all your mentorship and your support to Eastern Ontario over the years. We appreciate you, sir, and the work that you have done for us. So we've come to the results of the first ballot that was moved and seconded here in studio by Godfrey and Crystal. And we have the results. So if we can bring the results on the screen, 98% in favor, 2% no. So that has carried. So thank you for that first ballot. We did it. We got through one. And we'll now move to the second one. So our second ballot is our nomination ballot for section presbyters. So if you're new to the district, our district has 8 different sections. You see them there: Capital, Lakeshore, Ottawa Valley, Toronto North and South, Kawartha, Lanark, and the Quinte-Rideau section. And our process is to allow each section to nominate one representative. It's a big district. There's a lot of credential holders. We don't know everyone in every section. So this is our mechanism to allow each section to present a nominee. So that's what you're seeing on the screen here, is you're seeing the nominee from each section. So I'll just list them here. So Capital, Jeff Hillier, who currently serves in that role, was nominated again. Jeff is actually watching this broadcast from an airport in Calgary. He's just returning from the Saskatchewan district where he was one of the keynote speakers. So Jeff, we appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in today. Lakeshore, Sam Sibley, he's been serving in that role for a number of years. We appreciate Sam and all of his work. Ottawa Valley, Peter Snow, he's up in Renfrew. Toronto South is Godfrey Adderley. He pastors Stone Church in Toronto, in studio with us today. Kawartha is Crystal Moore. She used to pastor at Lakefield, but now she's the pastor of Northview Community Church in Peterborough. And then in Lanark Seaway, a new nomination was Paul Burley. We thank Rick Lott. He was the outgoing presbyter. He taking time with his family in season of life. We appreciate you, Rick. Paul Burley is the nominee in Lanark. Quinte-Rideau, Stephen Heathcock was nominated. Glenn Hallowell was serving in that role. And Glenn is doing some studies right now and needs to focus on that. So we appreciate you, Glenn, and appreciate the nominee of Stephen Heathcock. And then in York, Toronto North is Sam Vijayasanan. This was the section that Jeff Laird used to lead. And obviously when he was elected to the district office, that created a vacancy. And just recently, Sam became the nominee for the York, Toronto North section. So those are all of the pre-conference nomination ballots that have come in. And now we're going to open up this ballot. So I do declare that the nomination ballot for section presbyter is now open. So if you would again check your email and refresh if you need to, and make your way through that ballot, through all of the different sections, that will help us. And the timer is started. And as you're doing that, we are going to receive the financial report, then followed by the Keckney benefit report. So just as you're doing your ballot, stay tuned, and we'll go through both of those reports together. Thanks. God bless.
It's my privilege to share an encouraging financial report for the year ending on December 31st, 2022. Norton McMullen LLP has audited the district's consolidated financial statements. There is a positive letter of opinion on pages 1 and 2 of the statements. All the district's banking and legal business continues to be conducted under the name of the Eastern Ontario District of the Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada. The audited consolidated financial reports have been made available in advance of this meeting, and you can access them online under Resources on the district's website. Although I won't be taking the time to go through the statements line by line, there are some highlights that I will mention. First, let's celebrate that the district is in a solid financial position with net assets of over $9 million. This visual picture of the past 10 years illustrates the journey from where we were to where we are now, and you can see that the trajectory is positive. Along with many other organizations, the district's financial report reflects the impact of COVID-19 on operations. Year-over-year comparisons are not really helpful, as many of the district's ministries and programs have been interrupted by shutdowns that are now coming back online. Although it is difficult to determine trends, all indicators point to a healthy balance of revenues over expenditures. While other components of the district's financial year show fluctuations in the past 3 years, the tithes of churches and half-tithes of credential holders remain strong in 2022. When added together, there's an increase of approximately 7% from the previous year. When looking at the sources of revenue for the general district, it's clear to see how vital church tithes and credential holders' half-tithes are to the funding of district ministry. Thank you for your faithful support. On a consolidated basis, the district received over $109,000 through the Canada Summer Jobs Grants. This assistance was a terrific help to our district camps and provided jobs for 23 young people. District ministry directed over $885,000 to support churches, Bible colleges, district camps, missional initiatives, and the international office. Over the past 3 years, EOND has partnered with others on a contribution matching basis to see the debt of master's, college, and seminary significantly reduced. We are looking forward to when the school will be debt-free, with the priority always being to serve, support, and care for the credential holders and churches in Eastern Ontario and Nunavut. The district is also positioned to support new satellite initiatives and invest in the health and vitality of existing assemblies. Funds are available to assist churches in launching satellite assemblies and giving birth to new works. For the past few years, necessary infrastructure work has been taking place at both of our camps to align them with provincial government regulations for handling sewage waste. Lakeshore Pentecostal Camp is now connected to Cobourg's municipal water supply, and in a future phase will connect to their sanitary lines. Ottawa Valley Pentecostal Camp is nearing the completion of the installation of a new on-site sanitation system. This is being accomplished without borrowing from outside sources. We appreciate the contribution of the district's audit committee. This committee has been in place since 2007 and verifies that proper financial management and accounting practices are being followed. The audit committee reports directly to the district executive. A district finance committee is also in place that oversees ongoing financial management practices and decisions. With thanks to God for His faithfulness, I respectfully share this report with you today.
Hi folks. I'd like to share a personal story with you. In 2020, something happened in my life that I never expected. My home burned down. Whether you're 35 or 55, you never know when a fire can happen. Not only have I endured a fire, but I've also dealt with skin cancer and had a couple of back surgeries. I'm so glad that I've had protection and coverage that supported me during these challenges in my life. If you don't know who we are, my name is Jeff Keckney, and we have been privileged to serve over 600 churches for the last 20 years. If you're already on the plan, I just want to remind you that we are financially healthy, continues to be customizable, and is significant. If you're not on the plan, I want to encourage you to support your brothers and sisters in ministry. Economies of scale is so important. There's a reason why we shop at Costco, and there's a reason why we shop through Amazon. When it comes to your plan, we are able to offer similar advantages. More people means lower cost, and we are able to serve you wherever you are. In closing, I just want to thank you for your time and allowing us to serve you. It is our privilege. Wishing you well the rest of the conference and the remainder of 2023.
Party time. We bring the party.
Woo!
We bring the party. We've got prizes. We've got that hat's just not really working, but anyways, I hope you're alive, you're well. It's at this point in the business session that people start to nod off a little bit, maybe to maybe grab coffee, take tech breaks, whatever. We want you to stay engaged with us, so we brought some noisemakers. We brought some New Year's Eve hats. It's what was on sale, and we're trying to conserve and really be good stewards with God's finances.
Yes,
so
we are. Yes, we are. But
we're
why do we have...
reusing, reducing, and repurposing.
Yeah.
All the R words. What are we doing right now in this segment? This is...
Well, we're announcing our winners.
Oh, that's why we
That's
did
we
this.
have all
That's
this.
right. We have some winners to announce. So thank you for your submissions. Before we get to the winners, let's... some honorable mentions with the word game, Consecrated. You guys did really well, other than those of you who looked it up online and got the internet and AI to do it for you. For those who actually did it themselves,
Yes.
some honorable mentions. We had John Spurl, Josh Samuel had 4. It's good, Josh. One of our Bible college professors came up with 4 words. That's impressive. Josh, shout-outs to you. Lori Attack had a few. Kathleen was an honorable mention with 48 of her own. Kathy Mayetta had 40. Well, so shout-outs to those people. But our winner of 2 nights stay at Deerhurst, $150 gift card, goes to, drum roll please, goes to none other than Leanne Lloyd from Millbrook. Give it up. You are our winner with 93 words Leanne came up with. Yes.
Yay!
Yes. You can do better. You can do better.
Wow.
We do have other people in the studio with us today, believe it or not. So, Leanne, we will get you your prize. Thank you. That was excellent. You did really well. Yeah, good job. 93. I don't know.
That's impressive.
That's also the number of one of my favorite hockey players, Doug Gilmour, 93. It's a great number, one that I wore for years myself, so which has nothing to do with anything that we're talking about other than she had 93 submissions.
That's a great connection, Jeremy.
Thank you. I like to connect things like that. But our winner, the teams won.
Okay, so the teams won, so you all took pictures. I really appreciated who you considered to be a part of your team. We had some children in there, some pets. We
I
had
saw
some
some
pets,
pet pictures,
which were really
yep.
great. So I put all of your submissions in this bowl
Right in
here.
this
I put
bowl.
your name, and then we're going to draw. Oh, but wait. We were going to get one of
We
our...
should get one of our business people to come and draw and be part of the party.
Yeah.
Maybe we could invite someone over
Yeah.
to do. Who should we get? Who should we pick on?
You pick.
Did we already pick? Did we already decide who we were going to pick?
No.
Or this is just
This is
a free
on the
for all?
spot.
So,
This is fly.
so what's that?
Let's get Jeff to do
Jeff.
that.
Let's get Jeff over here.
Jeff.
Maybe Jeff Laird, our newest member to the district officer team, and David is smiling because we didn't pick him. He's just excited about that he got out of this one. So Jeff, come on over. Come on over.
Okay.
So any name in there?
And Jeff is not mic'd, but we can hear you, Jeff. So you got a name?
Who is it?
Okay, there it is. So again, drum roll, please. You can all do a little drum roll. We have the winner. Why don't you announce it? This was your...
My writing?
People were texting. No, I can read it. It was you they were texting.
Well, Justine Stratton. She took a picture.
Justine Stratton. Well done. You are getting
lunch.
Uber Eats.
Yeah, Uber
lunch
Eats on us.
On us. That's pretty exciting.
Congratulations. Thank you for watching.
That's actually
your-
really, really, really cool. I would enjoy lunch right about now. It's actually pretty early yet, but I could eat just about any time of the day.
Apparently.
Apparently.
Okay, that's it.
That's
all
it?
we had to do for this one.
Okay, so there you have it. Our winners for today are Leanne Lloyd from Millbrook and Justine Stratton from
Now
Evangel in Oshawa.
Yes, we do have one more contest coming up later, so don't go away just yet. Also, it's the business meeting, so stay for that too. But yeah, just make sure you pay attention to.
Good point. We've got other prizes. I can only imagine, because these were really good.
I know.
I can't even imagine what the next prize will be. Maybe Disneyland? I don't know. Whoa, set the bar lower. Okay, that's what I heard. Well, before we get ourselves into trouble, we should probably pass it back over to the business table.
Yes. Okay, back to you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, guys. And so I'm pleased to announce we've got the ballot results for nomination for section presbyter. So if we can bring the results up on the screen, so you'll see that all of the nominees were elected. So congratulations to Jeff Hillier, Sam Sibley, Peter Snow, Godfrey Adderley, Crystal Moore, Paul Burley, who will be a new district executive member, Stephen Heathcock, he'll be a new not district superintendent, but district executive member. We'll see where that goes, Stephen. And then we've got Sam as well, brand new to the district executive. So thank you for all of these nominees who have allowed their names to stand and for serving. We congratulate you all. So I know if you know any of these folks, send them a text, call them, probably not right now, but if you can just express your appreciation to them for serving. I'm excited. We're actually taking the district executive away on a board retreat in June. So I'd ask you to pray for us. The first week of June, we're going away for a couple of days up at Ottawa Valley Camp to really pray, strategize, plan, and work together with a brand new district executive, new district superintendent. So we appreciate your prayers for us. Want to reiterate appreciation to Rick Lott, Glenn Hallowell, and to Jeff, an outgoing presbyter. Thank you for all of your care and your support. They've served in committees in their tenure, and they've both done very well, Rick and Glenn, in the way that they've brought their sections together. So with great appreciation, I thank you both for your time and your service. We're moving to ballot number 3. Can you believe it? We're moving right along here. And this is a special ballot for the election of members at large and the election for the PAUC General Executive nominee. Okay, so let me explain what these things are. So as part of our district executive, we have 2 seats that are members at large, and these are people that are not our section presbyters, but they hold the seat around the table, and they can be from any section. And so I'll go through the names in a moment. Now, some of you may have seen in your digital booklet that Jeff Hillier was one of the names that was listed as a members of large nominee. The reason for that is he was part of that nomination, and the election of the presbyter had not happened yet. So we knew that had he been elected as presbyter, then his name would be removed as a nominee. So we've got the names here we're going to present to you for the pre-conference nomination ballot. If we could show you those right now, then we will. So they are Mark Scarr. He is the lead pastor of Woodvale in Ottawa. Mark Goring, who is the lead pastor of Church in Regent Park in Toronto. Andrew Jones, who's on staff at the embassy in Oshawa. We've removed Jeff Hillier's name because he's now been elected as the presbyter for the capital section. So please omit that name with respect and appreciation. And then we have Josh Livingston, who is the lead pastor of Southside Worship Center in Ajax. So those are the 4 names that you are going to be able to vote from. And that is a result of our pre-conference nomination ballot that's come to us. And those are presented in the order of percentage that they received in that initial balloting, okay? So in a moment when we send you that ballot, you will see those 4 names. We need you to choose 2 of them for those 2 seats. The second part of that ballot is the nominee for the general executive. And the way that this works is the general executive, as part of the national General Constitution, allows for each district to present a nominee, and the general executive then receives 5 credential holders all across the country from those nominations. And so it's our job today, constitutionally, to provide 1 name out of 3 nominations. So our district executive has nominated 3 names as per our mechanism to do that, and we're going to present them to you right now on the screen. They are Karina Shea. She is the lead pastor of Parkway Forest in North York. Eric Tremblay, who is the pastor in Rockland of New Beginnings Church. Sorry, not New Beginnings Church. Help me, someone. No, it's right, New Beginnings Church. I had a brain freeze there. My apologies, Eric. New Beginnings Church in Rockland. And then Patrice Wheeler, who is the Next Generations pastor at Global Kingdom Ministries in Scarborough. So those are the three nominees by the district executive that are bringing forward to you. And your job today is to choose one of those names. And then one of those names will go forward at the general conference, the national conference, to be elected, hopefully, to be one of those 5 credentialed members around the table. So, Karina Shea was one who was chosen in our last district conference for that purpose, and she was actually chosen for the national general executive. So we're very proud of Karina. Thank you for the work that she's done. You see her bio there. And then if we could also move to Eric, who is the lead pastor of New Beginnings Church. Hope you caught that, of Rockland. And there's Eric's bio. He's doing a great job in Rockland. And then we've got Patrice, who is a very gifted leader in Global Kingdom Ministries. We just appreciate Patrice so much in what she's doing and her collaborative efforts in different churches around the district. So we've got 3 great nominees here. So you're going to have a hard choice on who you choose. And so in a moment, when we go to the balloting, you're going to be choosing a person for the members at large. You're going to choose 2 of the 4 names that are there. And you're going to choose 1 of the 3 for the general executive. Okay? That's our nominee on behalf of Eastern Ontario and our district. As you do that in a moment, then we're also going to show you the assistant to the superintendent for resources report. And then following that in a moment, a bit later on, we'll show you the report for the assistant to the superintendent for ministry. So right now, I do declare that the election, that ballot number 3 is open for the election for the members at large. The election for the PAOC General Executive Credential is now open. The ballot will be closed when the timer on the screen reaches 0. So join me in voting for these 2 things, and we'll come back and see you in a moment. Thanks for doing that.
Much has happened since my last report 2 years ago. The uncertainties of the pandemic, the current rising inflation, and the war in Ukraine, among other local and world events, remind us that change is unending. The good news of the gospel is needed now more than ever. Reports are coming in from across our district of new things that God is doing these days. There are stories about courage, optimism, disappointments, and concerns, but above all, thankfulness. We look to the future with renewed vision. At the end of December 2022, there were 512 credential holders in EOND. We had 126 self-governing assemblies and 30 satellite congregations and missional initiatives, including 1 assembly pending being set in order for a total of 157. Since our last district conference, 2 churches officially changed their name. Frankfurt Full Gospel Tabernacle became Riverside Community Church, and Agincourt Pentecostal Church became onechurch.to. We welcome Christ Foundation Global Assembly in Scarborough into affiliation. We saw the closure of 4 assemblies: Bethel Pentecostal Church Battersea, Lakefield Community Church Lakefield, Danforth Community Church Toronto, and Iglesia Evangelica de Agua Viva in Belleville. Although Danforth Community Church, Lakefield, and Iglesia Evangelica de Agua Viva have formally closed, we are pleased to report that these ministries will continue to serve their communities in a different governance model under another affiliated assembly. Since our last conference, Brooklyn Village Church disaffiliated with the PAOC. Our group health plan, administered through Keckney Benefits, continues to support both churches and credential holders. We are constantly aware of balancing the need to keep the plan affordable and at the same time expand what is covered. We appreciate Jeff Keckney and his team as they work with us on some of our most difficult days. Counseling support is an essential aspect of care in our district. This vital area of support is provided as clergy care through the Shalem Mental Health Network and at times Emerge Counseling Ministries. On these occasions, safe, confidential counseling is available when needed. We are continuing to develop leaders for Pentecostal ministry through Master's College and Seminary, as well as through our French language Bible college, Institut Biblique de Québec, and the Aboriginal Bible Academy serving Indigenous people. Leadership Connection Days and Pastors' Days under Jeff Laird's leadership provide other opportunities to sharpen our ministry skills. As we look to the future, the district office will continue to be available for churches to keep pace with changing government requirements and regulations. We are able to assist churches with policy templates that can be developed to fit different settings. We are also available to attend a board meeting at your invitation if there are times when an outside perspective or information would help you. In today's business session, we will consider updating the district's governance document in light of new regulations affecting Ontario non-for-profit corporations. The proposed revisions will provide for electronic meetings and align the district with the changes made to the General Constitution and Bylaws at the 2022 General Conference. The goal is to be positioned to serve as best we can. One of the realities of life in ministry is change. We will continue to assist churches and pastors in transition as openings happen. Finally, I'm genuinely grateful to be able to work alongside Jason, Jeff, and our entire district team. We're quality people to share friendship and ministry with. Special thanks to my admin assistant, Nicole Pedersen, who's terrific at looking after details and is a help to me in many ways. I would like to thank Dan Smith and Sandy Newby in our accounting department for their dedication and quality of work. On a personal note, my wife Kathy and I have been married for over 43 years, and she has supported me in and through every season of life and ministry. We have a wonderful family who we are very proud of, and 5 grandsons who bring great joy into our lives. I thank the Lord for this chapter of life and ministry. It's incredible to think that I've been in this role for the past 14 years. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity, and I respectfully submit this report.
Thank you, David. Another great report. Mm-hmm. We are in great hands, great days here in Eastern Ontario, Nunavut District. How are you doing at home? We just wanted to ask you that. Just a little check-in. We've had some prizes. We've done some fun things. Here in the studio, just to let you into our world, it's a little bit chilly. I got to say, it's a little bit cold in here. I know it's a warehouse feel, but speaking of colds,
yes, Jeremy.
What's the difference, Candace, between a farmer with a cold and a chicken farmer with a cold?
I don't.
Any idea?
I don't know.
Here's a farmer with a cold. This is a chicken farmer with a cold. So, that was for free. Yeah, it's a tough crowd.
Wow, that was so great, Jeremy.
Thank you. Speechless.
I have no words. I know. But you know what? You know what got me excited the other day?
What? Not a chicken farmer.
Not
Probably
a chicken farmer.
Else.
No,
yeah.
Definitely not a chicken farmer. I got a really exciting email in my inbox. I got another cluster registration.
Good place to get an email in your inbox. That's awesome. That is exciting. Clusters.
Clusters.
Cluck. Chickens, clusters. Doesn't really work.
No, it doesn't. That's okay. But I did. I got another cluster registration.
That's really cool.
Did you know that you can still register for clusters?
I did know that, but that's partly because it's part of my role. So I better know that.
You should.
But they may not have known that.
They may not have known that. We are getting cluster registrations all the time, so don't think that you've missed out on anything. We have lots of people who aren't in a cluster yet, and lots of people who are registering. So
we started, just think about that for a second. The fact that we started this only about 1.5 years ago, it was January 2022 that we started clusters. We started with about 25 clusters, I think, just under 100 people in a cluster, and we're up to currently Jason said it earlier in his report, but 153, 154 people.
155, including the person who registered last week.
Okay, there it is. This just
Up-to-date
in.
numbers.
155 leaders in a cluster.
Yeah, gotta keep it
we
current.
have over 45 clusters, I
Yeah.
think, in around that. And that's pretty cool.
It's very cool.
But that also still means we have tons of room, tons of leaders who are yet to be placed in a cluster. And just like you said, they can still get into a cluster, which is awesome.
Yeah, we've got lots of space. If you've emailed and maybe you haven't heard back from us about something, sometimes things get lost. So please email us again. We want to make sure that I got another one this morning. So that's just
awesome.
to say, just to say to you, give us another email and we'll hook you up. And we were in here not that long ago.
That's true. We were right here in this studio just like a week ago.
Yeah, filming a cluster host training video so
That's
that
right.
we can best serve you and get you into a cluster super quick and super fast, because we've got lots of hosts that we've got trained and we're going to get them all rolling.
We really want to expedite the whole process so nobody has to wait to get into a cluster. As soon as they register, we've got hosts ready to onboard people and get them in, get them moving, and get them really experiencing the benefits of a cluster, which are providing a safe space where people don't have to be on. It's great community. It's basically small groups for pastors, right?
It is. It's soul care for pastors.
That's it. That's
soul care
it.
for pastors. So if you haven't registered yet, how can they do that, Jeremy?
They can do that by just going to our website, eond.org, and sign up. It's in the header right there. You'll see a little promo for clusters. Scroll down once you're on that screen. There's a register here button, and it's really simple. And then we do the rest of the work. We place them in one. However, some people have asked over the last year and a half, hey, if I've got my own group of people, can I still? Yes, by all means, just let us know, and we can get you a part. And we just want to put you in our database so we know who's with who. And we've got people all across our district, from Yonge Street, Toronto, all the way to the Quebec border as far as our district goes.
Yeah.
And beyond. And beyond.
It's really cool. So it's super easy to just go to our website, register there. We'll get you hooked up.
And we'd love to see everybody join a cluster. So if you're not in one, we want you to be the odd person out, to the point where you feel awkward that you're not in a cluster. Right?
Right.
Because we want it to become the culture of this district. It's a great district, and we want just one of the parts of being a part of EOND family. You would just know that you're in a cluster. That's just one of the things we do here in Eastern Ontario. We cluster, whatever that means.
It means we cluster.
It means we cluster. Okay. That said, that was really, I feel like that's an appropriate response to, it was really that easy to get in a cluster, so I'm going to hit it again.
That was easy.
That was easy. That's how easy it is to get in a cluster. So if you're not in one, get in one. And let's see who made it in as a member at large. I think it's time. Do we have a result?
Right.
We're actually going to a report.
We're
This
going to a
just in.
report.
I'm so thankful that we have people in studio we can converse back and forth with to keep us on our toes. We're not actually going to find out the result right now. We're going to another report. The Assistant to the Superintendent Ministries, Mr. Jeff Laird.
One and only. There we go.
Hi, everyone. It's a great joy to bring my very first Assistant to the Superintendent of Ministry report. As Jesus neared the end of his physical time on earth, he made it clear to his disciples that we must take his love to everyone. Go into all the world is still our command today. Since our last conference report, Dan and Jen Challoner, Italy, TJ and Sarah LaPlante, Romania, and Colin and Dorsalie Gittins in Guyana have left Canada and are now actively serving. Amar and Nadira Ram are in the final fundraising stages, and they hope to leave for Guyana this summer. Deborah Surjasing has come home after 39 years of faithful service in Kenya. Thank you, Deborah, for serving with excellence for so many years. Well done. EOND currently has 6 RAN workers, and please keep them in your prayers. RAN stands for Restricted Access Nations. It's those places around the globe which are hostile to the message of Jesus. We can't promote these people publicly for their protection, but we can connect you to them for their ongoing support. We also have 10 Mission Canada workers serving around the district. We know we have a mission field right here as well. And you can find updated information on our Mission Canada and Mission Global workers in our new EOND missions booklet that's available for download in your digital conference booklet. This booklet is meant to be a resource for your church's missions committee. So thank you for your ongoing mission support despite the uncertain financial times that we are experiencing. Giving to missions is a privilege, and there's a blessing that flows to churches and to people who keep it a priority. We must keep the go in the gospel and take the love of Jesus to those who still need to hear it. Canada needs Jesus, and we must have healthy churches and pastors to provide stability, courage, and the vision needed to grow our churches and to increase our impact. In 2022, the Multiply Network of the PIOC helped plant 26 churches across Canada. And on a local level, we have seen new church expressions open, and we are currently working on more that you will hear about soon. Limitless Church in Ajax, led by Pastor Kareem Furon, is an excellent example, and we are grateful to Christian Life Center and Pastor Sam Sibley for their support and encouragement to see this new work go forward. To further meet the need for new ministry initiatives, a working group called the Toronto Proper was formed. It's comprised of EOND, WOD, and Mission Canada personnel. And we are meeting, praying, and strategizing together on where to plant new churches in Toronto. If you have the desire to start a new ministry expression of any kind in our district, please reach out to us. We would be thrilled to help you. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 9:22, I have become all things to all people so that I might save some. The gospel message stays the same, but we must be flexible and creative in order to impact those who have yet to respond to God's love. In 2020, the district launched its first new lead pastors group, and since that initial launch, we have hosted 3 cohorts of new lead pastors from across the district, bringing them together for relationship, mentoring, and resourcing purposes through times of online and in-person connection. Post-COVID restrictions, we now host new lead pastors at the district office twice a year with our EOND team. We trust this is a meaningful time of interaction, connection, and encouragement as our new lead pastors come to learn together and to be ministered to. In 2021, we experienced limited camp ministry at Ottawa Valley and Lakeshore due to COVID. These were challenging days, and we appreciate the strong leadership and team at OVPC and LPC, which has led us through that unprecedented time. Many thanks to Julia Benson, Dominic Amiot, Ryan McCoy at LPC, Dean Fott, Hillary Moss, Jeff Doms, and Kayla Kinslow at OVPC. In 2022, as government restrictions were lifted, hundreds once again gathered across the summer to experience our camp ministry. And we are grateful to the Lord for those days. And we are looking forward to the summer of 2023 with anticipation. The staff of both camps are getting prepared for a full season of services and activities. And I would encourage you, everyone, to attend some camp meetings this summer. I love camp. I know the impact that camp can have on us, our children, and our grandchildren. The district ministry's primary focus is providing care and leadership training to pastors and leaders in our churches. And in 2021, EOND facilitated an online Pastors' Day themed discipleship with Jerry Barringer, and many leaders participated in a discipleship cohort opportunity with Jerry after the event. And a joint WOD EOND online Pastors' Day with Mark Batterson in 2022 was well attended and well received. Our specialized ministry team works hard to care for you and help strengthen what God is doing in your church. Jeremy Albrecht, our Leadership Health and Youth Director, is passionate about developing and equipping leaders of all ages. Jeremy is highly valued, and he leads us well with integrity and creativity. Bev Graham is our Children's Ministries Director, and she has a heart for every child to know Jesus. And I'd like to extend a special thank you to Ashley Livingston and Candace Bell for the many giftings that they bring to our team. Thank you to our current Women's Network Director, Kim Goring, and Wendy Cooper, our previous Women's Network Director. Both these women have served us well. And Steve Sparling leads the men's ministry, and we appreciate his work with the men in our district. I am grateful for the leading of the Holy Spirit. He always knows best. And as most of you know, I am new to district ministry, and we have recently transitioned from our wonderful church to this new role, and we feel strongly that this is where He wants us to serve. Thank you to my wife, Helen, who is a tremendous support to me in this season of ministry that the Lord has called us to. These last few months have been an amazing experience traveling across the district and visiting churches, pastors, chaplains, and other specialized ministers. I have visited almost every section of the district, and I see a hunger in many hearts to experience a fresh touch of the Spirit. If I have not connected with you personally, I would love to do so. Thank you to Jason and David for their leadership and their friendship. I have been asking many questions, and they have been extremely patient as I get up to speed on all the elements that are associated with this role. Thank you to my assistant, Amy Bolton, who has been so helpful in this transition. And as Paul told Timothy in 2 Timothy 4, verse 2, I remind us all, preach the word, be prepared in season and out of season. Let's be people of the Spirit who hear His voice and have the courage to do what He says. Jesus is still the hope of the world. May the Lord richly bless you all, and thank you for the opportunity to serve. And I respectfully submit this report.
Let me just say a word of appreciation to David Blakely and Jeff Laird for their ministry and their service to us as a district. As they both communicated in their reports, it's a joy to work with them, and they serve you well in everything that they do, and it's a joy to work together, guys. Appreciate you both. We want to update you on the results of the last ballot. So we'll show you on the screen, and we're going to give you two separate slides as we have an election for members at large, but we are going to have a separate ballot for the general executive. So congratulations to Mark Scarr and Mark Goring that were re-elected to their seats on the district executive. Thank you to Andrew Jones and Josh Livingston for allowing your names to stand. You guys are exceptional leaders, and we're grateful for your input in the district. And thank you to Mark Scarr and Mark Goring. We look forward to serving with you again in the next 2 years, and we will see you at that district executive retreat. We are going to have to go to another ballot 3.1 for the general executive nominee. So if we could show the results of the first ballot on the screen, this will show you. So Karina Shea is at 46%, Patrice Wheeler at 32%, and Eric Tremblay at 21%. So as per our mechanism, we're going to remove Eric's name. Thank you, Eric, for being willing to do this and willing to serve. We appreciate you and your leadership. So you're going to be receiving a new ballot. So in a moment, we're going to open that up for you, and there will be two names, Karina and Patrice, and we would ask you to choose one of those names in that ballot as we could come up with a general executive nominee on behalf of EOND. So I would declare that ballot 3.1 for the election for the general executive credential is now open. The ballot will be closed when the timer on the screen reaches 0. So thank you for participating and doing that right now. And as you're doing that, we're going to move into kind of our main, now that the elections are just about over, we're going to move into the main moment of our business meeting today, which is addressing resolution number 2, which is a special resolution regarding our Constitution. So I'm going to ask for that resolution to be brought up on the screen, and I'll read it together with you. It says, whereas the Eastern Ontario District is a provincially registered not-for-profit corporation and is required to comply with the Ontario Not-for-Profit Corporation Act in 2010, and whereas the 2022 General Conference of the Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada amended its General Constitution and bylaws and replaced the Statement of Fundamental and Essential Truths with the Statement of Essential Truths, Article 5, and the Positions and Practices, Article 6, of the Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada, and whereas the provision for the use of electronic and telephonic media would be beneficial in the conducting of district business, and whereas numerous grammatical and housekeeping corrections are required, therefore be it resolved that the 2017 version of the Eastern Ontario District of the Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada Constitution and Bylaws, which is the operating bylaw of the corporation, be amended as recommended by the district executive and revised to include the changes proposed in the draft version as presented to the conference. So that resolution is being presented to you today, and we're going to discuss it in a moment. I'm going to have David give us a little bit of a preamble before we go to the ballot. And it's something that we've been working on now for a number of years. We've known that this is coming. This is in compliance with the ONCA rules. David will explain that. You would remember back on March the 8th, we held a town hall Zoom call to address this, to speak to it, to present it formally. We made that video available as well for replay, and we had some conversation about this. And now we're ready to present this to you as a formal resolution to be voted upon. So that's been moved and seconded here in studio, and I'm going to invite David to speak to this resolution a little bit more specifically. So thank you, David, for all your work on this resolution.
Thank you, Jason. As you've said, this has been a long time coming, and we've actually held off on some of the housekeeping work that needed to be done on our governance document, knowing that we would be here. It was actually 2010 that the Ontario Non-for-Profits Corporation Act first passed legislation, and it's taken this long before it was put into force. And so we've had warning that it's coming, and so here we are. And so we've done our best to prepare for this meeting and this time together for us to make a more extensive revision to our Constitution and bylaws than normally we would make at a conference. Usually we would change one or two things. And so rather than break all of these changes up, we're presenting the document as a whole for consideration because it contains so many items. In fact, this, we said the reason for it in the preamble of the resolution. And in fact, we're able to have this meeting electronically because of a COVID provision that ends in September. So we're taking advantage of this, the chance that we have to have this session today done electronically. And in the future, we will have a provision built into our governance document that will allow us to do it as we've agreed together, and should this resolution pass, to accept the changes. It's been a journey to get here, and we have started by a Constitutional Review Committee looking at all of the possible changes that should be introduced, and looking at the new ONCA, if I could call the Ontario Non-for-Profits Corporations Act. I won't say that anymore, I'll just say ONCA. We've looked at what is required of us as a provincially registered non-for-profit corporation to be in compliance with ONCA, as well as the other reasons that have been stated. And so the committee has went through the document, made all of those necessary notes. Then we sent it for legal review, and as it came back from legal review, we made more changes to implement what was suggested to us there. We then went to the district executive with a preliminary draft, and the preliminary draft was then taken to a town hall meeting where we had fun together, looking line by line, word by word, at the Constitution until we were able to actually pick up a couple of adjustments that we were able to make, things grammatical and housekeeping items that we could fix, and we appreciated those suggestions. And then we went back from there to make our final draft, and the final draft was then presented. One more step, it went to the National Superintendent's Committee for pre-approval. So we feel like we've done all that we can in due diligence, realizing that constitutions are never static. They move, they change with the times, and we'll probably find lots of things in the future that we'll want to tweak and fix, but at least we've caught up with where we need to be. The district executive did review the town hall meeting discussion, and there was a point of discussion about the 10% of the voting constituency having the authority to call for a special meeting of the district conference. And one of the points of conversation was, should that be 10% or should it be 5%? And it was a decision of the district executive in line with ONCA guidelines, and also with the realization that we are now, with this new version of the Constitution, we are going to be required to meet annually. Up until now, we've had a biennial conference. And so now we're going to actually be meeting every year for business. And so that's new, and that allows, again, more opportunity for us to deal what needs to be dealt with. And also the fact that the 10% itself was a brand new component that would allow for members, the membership, to call for a special meeting. So the district executive felt that the draft should include the 10% as it was previously presented and as it is presented now. So that's what's being recommended to you now by the district executive. A little bit of background information, maybe more than what you wanted, but there was a lot of moving parts to this, and here we are today. And the district executive is hopeful that it will pass and this resolution will be carried.
Well, thank you, David. This is a lot of work over a number of years that's been summarized very quickly. Hopefully, David's presentation shows you the process that's been followed. We do appreciate your input, and that town hall was very helpful to us in dialoguing some of these nuances of some of these things as we're now implementing and adhering to the ONCA rules. So we appreciate everyone's participation in this, and we're ready now to present to you this final draft of the Constitution as a resolution for you to vote on. So I do declare that ballot number 4, the resolution number 2, special resolution, the constitutional update is now open. So if you would go to your email inbox again, find your link to click on the ballot, participate, and then we'll come back in a moment and share more results with you. So I'm going to throw it over to our host right now while we wait for those results.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, lots of moving parts today, lots of things to get through, all important. We had some great reports. Both David, Jeff shared some great reports. Exciting stuff happening here in this district.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And we're grateful for those reports, especially getting to hear from Jeff Laird for the very first time. But that was a formal report. It was very formal, very scripted, probably teleprompted even. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just guessing. But it'd be really cool to hear from some of these people in maybe, say, a little more informal. I mean, I would love that. I'm sure the people would love that. How many about you, let's just hear you, show of hands out there, if you'd like to hear from some of our officers maybe in a little less formal way, get into their personal lives a little bit? Yeah. I know they're sweating right now. Yeah, they are. Buckets of sweat are falling right now. If you could see them right now, perspiration is happening. But that's all good. That's what we came to do. So who are we going to pick on? So let's pick on Jeff Laird, since he's our newest member, and let's have him come over here, maybe live with not Regis and Kathy, but live with Jeremy and Candace. We could have him come over here. We've got a mic ready for him. So if we can get that on to our media team here, our tech team. Let's welcome Jeff. Jeff, come on over. Just stand right there at the right side. Get that beautiful mug shot right there. Look right into that camera.
Awesome. Okay, so Jeff, we just thought it'd be nice to get to know you a little better. You've been here for a few months now. We know you're a fellow Leafs fan, so that's already taken care of.
Go Leafs, go.
But now that we've established that, Jeff, we were just thinking just 3 quick questions, getting to know you a little bit more. So first question is this. It's really simple. You have a day off, Jeff. All your significant others are occupied, so you're not necessarily hanging out with them. You have nothing to do, nothing scheduled. And the to-do list around the home, Helen has given it. You've already accomplished that. You were on it years ago because that's just who you are. So
Wow,
now that you've got this day off, you've got nothing to do, nothing scheduled. Where do we find you? What are you doing? Nothing formal ready for you. What are you doing in your spare time for fun?
For fun.
Yeah, fun, relaxation, anything. Where do we find you?
Probably outside.
Outside. Okay.
Yeah. We live on a little bit of a property, so I like to go outside, have fires, cut trees, cut grass.
So an outdoorsman. You're a little bit of an outdoorsman. Okay.
I like that. I like to play sports a lot and for fun. And then, boring stuff like reading books or watching a movie or whatever.
But as long as you're out, you'd rather be outside than inside?
A lot of times, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good. It's good. Well,
Is that a good answer?
That's a
There's
great
no
answer.
wrong answer.
Oh,
We're
okay,
just getting to know you a little
all
bit,
right, all
so-
right.
Whatever you say is the right answer. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
right.
Thanks for prepping me for all of this.
Hey,
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
problem. No problem. We like on the spot, live interaction.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say it's your birthday.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Okay. It's in July.
You don't have
July,
to tell us your
okay.
age.
All right.
Just
We won't-
happy
we won't.
birthday.
But
All
let's
right.
say it is your birthday.
Okay.
We're taking you out. Where are
your
we
birthday.
going?
Oh,
Good question.
Thank you.
wow. There's so many good choices.
Yeah, I mean, you can go big, small.
I want to say the keg.
Okay.
good
Yeah. I
choice.
think it's a
Yes.
classic.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially if someone else is paying.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you guys going to take me out to the keg?
We
Well,
have not.
possibly. We haven't discussed
There's people
that,
watching.
but yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's all
We don't
hypothetical.
want to commit ourselves to anything.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want to overpromise, underdeliver. That's not really our style.
That's good. But the keg is a great
Keg is a
choice.
great
Okay.
choice.
Thank you.
choice.
Thank you. Yeah.
Do you have
Okay.
a
Be good
favorite
choice.
steak while you're at the
Yeah.
keg? Favorite choice? Go-to?
I go back and forth.
Okay.
Sometimes I get a steak. Sometimes I get prime rib.
Okay.
Go back and forth. Yeah.
Prime rib guy
Yeah,
over here.
yeah.
Ooh, chops wood and eats prime rib. Okay. We're getting to know Jeff a little better.
That's awesome. Okay, and like we said earlier, Jeff, you've been here a few months now.
Yes.
You've experienced district ministry work a little bit. We'd like to hear what's been your favorite part so far. What struck out to you most?
Just hanging out with you guys. No, I.
Aw.
no, I
Good
like
answer.
doing
Well
that.
done.
No, you know what? And my serious answer is I have really, really enjoyed meeting with credential holders and visiting churches and pastors and chaplains and all the specialized ministers. I really have really enjoyed that, sincerely. There's a lot of amazing people in our district who are doing some great things for God, and I find it inspiring and I've really enjoyed that. That's a serious anscer. I really have enjoyed
We
that.
believe you. We believe you. You're a sincere guy. We can tell.
Thank you. Hey, but something special while I have the microphone. Something special happened on Sunday in our family.
Oh,
Okay.
oh.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right. Tell us
Yes.
about that.
Yes.
You are
A brand new grandfather.
Woo!
So, thank
Grandpa.
you.
Now, what do you
Yeah.
go by? What's
Yeah.
your sir?
I
what's your
think
preface?
I
for
think
going?
it's going to be Grandpa.
Grandpa.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Not Poppy, not Papa,
No, I
not
have
Big Daddy. Yeah, okay.
No, Big Daddy.
I don't know. Just threw that
Is that
out
what
there.
you're going for?
Yeah. No, we have our oldest
Who did it
son
on
just
my poll?
had him and his wife just had a baby girl, and she is beautiful. And we're excited. Helen and I are so excited. So that was a big deal for us on
is a big
Sunday.
deal.
Yeah. So
Congratulations.
that was fun. yeah.
Grandpa Laird.
That's
Grandpa
it.
Laird.
Here first. Okay, Jeff, we got to get back to the business, but before we
We
do,
do.
one quick game.
Okay.
We're going to play with you. It's called 5 and 9. Okay,
5
Jeff,
and
we're
9.
putting you on the spot. So this is to
Okay.
see how well you know your district. You're new
Oh,
in
boy.
this district. You've been traveling a little bit. So
Okay.
you have got 9 seconds in a moment. We're going to put a timer on the screen.
Yep, set.
9 seconds
9
to
seconds.
answer and give us 5 names of rural communities in Eastern Ontario district. in 9 seconds.
5.
5 rural communities. All right? Are you ready? It doesn't matter if you're ready because we got to do this.
Okay.
Are you ready? Here we go. You're going to keep track. 9 seconds. The screen is going to keep track. And go.
5. Okay. Arnprior, Sterling, Renfrew, Cobden.
And he got 4. Time is up.
Oh,
That was so close. Give us one more. Time's up. But
Pembroke?
Okay. Well, it's debatable whether it's rural. Arnprior even was a little bit debatable, but hey, he's new in the district.
Peter, are you rural out there? I don't know.
You can ask. But Jeff, we got you a prize anyways. It's a Baby Bell stick of cheese, so you can take that back to the business table with you. And thanks for playing. We feel like we know you better now, Jeff.
That is awesome.
You've been a great sport.
Thank you.
And congratulations on being a grandfather.
Thank you.
Big Daddy Jay Laird, you're in the house.
All right.
That's all. Back to the business.
Well, we can share a few results with you, and then I believe we're going to take just a quick break. We've been going for a while. We want to allow everyone to use the bathroom or check your email or do what you need to do, but let me share some results with you. So we've got the results of the General Executive nomination or nominee. We could show that, please, on the screen. So congratulations to Karina Shea, who was elected again at 59%. And again, a word of appreciation for Patrice, who's just an exceptional leader in Scarborough. We are so blessed with the leaders we have in our district. So thank you so much. Congratulations, Karina. I look forward to seeing you in the fall around the table with me as a new General Executive member. We also have the results of resolution number 2. So thank you again for David and all your hard work. So that was carried at 96%. And we thank you. There's a lot of work that's gone into that resolution. And it looks like it's all quick and easy, but I'm telling you, a lot of people have poured into that. And so we so appreciate all the work that David and the Constitutional Review Committee, our district executive, everyone that was part of the town hall. You know, we say we're better together, but we really are. So thank you for everyone that has taken part in that. At this point, we're going to show you one more report before we take our break, and that is the National Office Report. And or are we going to break first? Someone help me. We're going to go to a break first, and then when we come back, we'll be wrapping up with one more resolution and 2 more reports. So hang in there. So we're going to go for a quick break. Don't go too far, and we'll see you in a moment.
Let the King of my heart be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, he is my song. Let the King of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, he is my song. You are good, good. Oh, 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 let the King of my heart be the wind inside my sails, the anchor in the waves. Oh, he is my song. Let the King of my heart be the fire inside my veins, the echo of my days. Oh, he is my song. You are good, good. Oh, you are good, good. Oh, you are good, good. holding on to me. God is holding on. No longer I who live, but Christ in me. For I've been born again. My heart is free. The hope of heaven before me. The grave behind. Hallelujah. You brought me back to life. I won't forget the moment I heard you call my name out of the grip of darkness into the light of grace, just like Lazarus. Oh, you brought me back to life. And where there was dead religion, now there is living faith. All of my hope and freedom I found in Jesus' name. Just like Lazarus, oh, you brought me back to life. No longer I who live, but Christ in me. For I've been born again. My heart is free. The hope of heaven before me. The grave behind. Hallelujah. You brought me back to life. When something says I am guilty, I point to the price you paid. When something says I'm not worthy, I point to that empty grave. Just like Lazarus, oh, you brought me back to life. No longer I who live, but Christ in me. For I've been born again. My heart is free. The hope of heaven before me. The grave behind. Hallelujah. You brought me back to life. How can I begin to thank you for all that you've done for me? Jesus, to fully praise you, it will take all eternity. Just like Lazarus, oh, you brought me back to life. Oh, you brought me back to life. Oh, you brought me back to life. Yeah. Oh, you brought me back to life. Unrelenting, overwhelming, your love poured out.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Hopefully you've gotten a chance to grab some coffee, take a bathroom break, maybe a technology break, do some stretching, maybe some mobility exercises. Some of you older folks out there need to keep the bones moving, need to keep the joints going,
It's good.
primed and ready. But we're back. We had a chance to do the same, grab a little snack. We have some tea biscuits out there. I think maybe even Colleen made them. No, she didn't make them. This just in. I was wrong on that. I've been leading you astray in other ways, so I don't want to do it in that area, but they were delightful anyways.
Wonderful. Very
regardless
good.
of who made them. And they had raisins.
The one you did, the one you had
True,
raisins. I
true.
chose
Not
one
all
without
of them had raisins. I like raisins. You can throw some shade my way for that, but I do. I'm not going to lie. That's just who I am.
It's okay. We like you that way.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. We're going to play another game, right? It's time
Yeah.
for another game?
Time for another game. I'm
Another
excited
game.
about this one.
This is our final contest.
It's our final contest, so listen up, everybody. This is what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to play a game called I Spy,
Oh, I love I Spy.
an old familiar
Funny
favorite.
story.
Oh.
Actually, no, we don't have time. But
Okay, so we're not going to tell the story. Instead, we're going to play I Spy. Now, we can't play in this room or in your room because that would be unfair. So we picked a centrally located room. Whose room did we pick?
we picked not Dave Wells' room.
Nope.
No, but it is another David.
Yep.
We picked our assistant to the superintendent
Resources.
Mr. none other than Reverend David Blakely. We went in his office when
Yeah.
he wasn't there, which is hard because he's there a lot.
Yeah. But we went in there.
But
We looked
did.
around.
We did look around.
Because he's got some really neat things
He's
in
got
his
some
office.
very unique stuff in his office.
Yeah.
Things that you maybe wouldn't know are in a person's office.
No.
Are
So
there.
yeah, so we went around and we spied in his office.
With
and
our eyes.
With our eyes.
I
and
Spy.
I Spy, hence the name of the game. And we wrote down a list of objects that can be found in his office. And then we stuck in a few things that aren't there. But we're going to have you pick which of the following items can be found in David's office. And then you'll send it to us. So these are the items, okay? On the
Okay,
screen
so
right now.
just so everyone's clear, these are the items on the screen, and you've got to tell us which ones you think we did spy in his office.
Yes.
So do not send us letters representing the ones that were not there, only the ones you think were
there.
Just to clarify.
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
Capiche? Everyone understands?
We got
okay?
it.
Some of you are still coming back off break, and you're just getting this
like,
real
what
time now.
on
What are we
earth are
talking
they
about? You
talking
may miss
about?
out on this prize. What are we
Yeah.
playing for, first of all?
Ooh, what?
We got some monkeys in the studio.
We're playing for a gift card to Amazon.
That's right.
Yep.
How much?
$50.
$50 to Amazon. You can buy a
What?
nice book, hardcover book. Books have
Absolutely.
gone up.
They have.
They really have. Inflation.
Yep. So you can buy a book. You can buy whatever you want. But
Hey, speaking of books and inflation,
Yes,
why
Jeremy.
do chickens go to the gym?
why, Jeremy?
To work on their pecs. Okay, so I got her on that one. We've got a game for you, Amazon gift card. Okay, so
Oh, we're
five.
going downhill. Okay.
We are. So put the thing on the screen again if you
'Kay.
can. Let's put the answers on the screen.
All right.
Put
so
it back
these,
up there.
we need you to tell
Tell us.
us which one of these can be found in David's office. So
There
there's-
may be more than one though.
There might, there might be more
Right.
than one. You have to tell us all of the letters that you do think apply. So there's a 5-foot wooden giraffe,
Maybe.
maybe.
Who knew?
There might be an authentic wood from the Blue Nose 2. There might be.
David likes this. He's chuckling over
I
there.
know.
He likes this.
This is why we did this.
This is good.
There might be 6 Harley Davidsons on a shelf.
Not 7, not 5, but 6.
6. There may or may not be a book on how to cook vegetables and like them.
Yeah, that could be there.
There also might be a Captain Margarine trophy from
Captain
2015.
Margarine. Okay.
We'll let you put the pieces together. And all of those things might
Maybe
be in
they're
there.
all there.
Maybe they're all
Maybe
there,
they're
and that
all
would be
there.
letter F. So you need to tell us which of those things are there. They're going to text their letters to the number that's on the screen.
Whose cell are we giving out this time?
Yours.
Let's just give out a random cell number and just see what that's like, because we're just bringing all the fun today.
Yeah, but we need to collect the answers.
Okay, true. So let's go to this number on the screen.
It's your
is
number.
Is it my number?
What's your number?
Okay, it's my number. So 613-979-9465.
Mm-hmm.
Text your answers. So just the letters. We don't need the full response. Just
Nope.
check the letters. Text them to me. And if we have a tie,
It's the first answer.
It's the one that came
First
in
one who
first. So
can-
starting now, how long do they have? We're capping this off in what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give you 5 minutes from now. It's 11:01. You've got till 11:06.
Go.
Get your answers in, go, and back to business.
No. Oh, yeah.
Nope.
So we're going
Sorry.
straight to the national report is what we are
Back
going
to the report. Right.
So we're going to welcome
I'm
that
glad you're
report
here.
now. Thanks.
Hi friends, Dave Wells, bringing you greetings at your district conference on behalf of my fellow officers as well, Craig Burton and Murray Cornelius and all the team in our national and international office. We are part, of course, of a greater global family of churches and ministries that are feeling the call of the Spirit related to 2033 and how the Lord is bringing so many denominations, ministry organizations aligned to believe that the Spirit will empower us to go to every person on the planet and share the good news of Jesus by 2033. And as part of that, we within the Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada are feeling the priority to focus on items such as prayer being the very core, the main thrust of who we are. Every church, a house of prayer. Every one of us in first love with Jesus and alive in sharing His Word. Personal evangelism has to take on a whole new dimension, even within our Canadian church and within your local communities. The majority of our constituency do not share their faith in Jesus. And how can we expect God to be at work, multiplying His church, bringing vital churches into play, if we do not see, first of all, first love for Jesus, and then being lived out in witness? So we want to highlight evangelism and the gift of the evangelist amongst us. And we are doing that more and more, linking our evangelists together, linking with other organizations and their focus on evangelism. So join us, pray and ponder about some of those themes. And we believe that vital churches multiply. And so we will continue to have our vitalization network, multiplication network, do all that God is calling them to do under the leadership of persons such as Paul Fraser, Gary Tanger, and so many others. And may you be praying about how to multiply out from a life that is focused on those who do not yet know Jesus. We also are so very grateful for our Mission Canada expression and our Mission Canada workers that are released into the various areas of missional need in Canada. The missional need doesn't go away, and the specialized ministries we need to impact those areas. We're just so glad for the people the Lord has called and is calling, and we continue to believe for a multiplication of Mission Canada workers. But along with that is the alignment of our different guiding groups and how they give direction to our mission in those areas. I'm grateful for everyone serving in these areas, and especially Brian Eggert, Natalie Rogie, and the team at Mission Canada. Continue to lean in with us, won't you? It's so good to have Craig Burton online and working with us. He's been a gift to us as he picks up the good work that Ron Davis, David Hazard have done over the years. And our fellowship services team is here to continue to serve you. I trust you're engaged with the pension fund. I trust you're engaged with the opportunities to participate with us in the resources that are available to you online through poc.org and all of the things that are posted there to be a practical assistance in the administration of our churches and ministries. Fellowship Services continues to be here to serve, and so please be in contact with Craig and his team, and I'm just so proud of them, and I know the hard work that they do. Finally, Mission Global, I am just so grateful for Murray and his team as they continue to point us to the least reached and the most vulnerable. And we are aligning our missional focus globally to be about that. We are hearing reports of where we are engaged with the least reached and how God is breaking in phenomenal ways, and how we are also involved with the most vulnerable in Ukraine and other contexts. And recently I was with a group of our leaders and saw a program where in a long line with Erdo, we are seeing 55,000 children fed every day. So keep leaning in with us, folks. Keep participating, and we're so grateful for you and your faithful ministry within the context that you serve in. God bless you.
So thank you to David Wells and all of the national officers. I know sitting around that table now that there is a strong focus on discipleship, mentoring the next generation, and that's David's heart, and so we appreciate their leadership. And David, thank you for representing the PAOC internationally well for us. We appreciate you and Craig and Murray, and thank you for providing that report today for us. Friends, as we've been just kind of monitoring the chat over the break and just following up on what's been said, and I wanted to address one question that's come in about our procedure for conversation regarding resolution number 2. And I've asked David just to speak to that to provide a little bit of clarity.
Yeah, thank you. We realize that this forum is limiting in the way that we can interact on issues and discussion. And the district executive was concerned about that when we deal with our Constitution update. We are on a 3-year timeline with ONCA to come into compliance. And so we saw this as the chance that we could have, because if we waited for another year, we'll be behind the timeline. So we moved ahead with it, but with the understanding that we would make a place for input, dialogue, and we did that through the town hall meeting. And it really is our heart. You need to hear this. It really is our heart to be transparent and to be responsive, because we're here to serve the district. We're here to serve you. And so there's been no intent to try to make this a one-way conversation. And so we did the town hall meeting, and even since the town hall meeting, I've had people send in comments and questions, and I'm more than happy to respond to them. And as I said before, we do have the opportunity to continue to tweak our document. This isn't set in stone forever. This is a part of an ongoing process of responding to what best serves us, because this is what it's for. Constitution serves us, creates parameters for how we do business, how we make decisions, how we are responsive to even the government, as we are a non-for-profit corporation. So in the one, and really I've only been aware of one question, and that was what I already addressed, the 10% that ONCA prescribes for members to be able to call a special meeting versus 5%. And as we have, in fact, even in the town hall meeting when that was introduced, we did a on-the-spot poll, and the poll was in favor of 10%. It was close. It was 51 to 49, but it was close, but it was decisive. The district executive reviewed that and said, why would we reverse that? Why would we go against that? Plus the other factors that I've already shared with you, and I don't want to repeat myself, but I do want to be responsive, and we do want you to know that we are here to serve. And if in a coming year or two we see, hey, we really need to change it, well, we can do that. But we do recognize that we now have an annual general meeting, and we now have 10% of the members that can call for a special meeting, where before there was no provision at all in place for that. So we have just, we've made provisions that haven't been there. And so
let's continue to dialogue. Let's continue to see what serves us best, and we'll continue to listen.
Thank you, David. Well, we're going to move now to ballot number 5, which is resolution number 3, 4, and 5. So this is another omnibus resolution. So if we can put that on the screen, I'll read it for you. Be it resolved that the reports of the district superintendent, the assistant to the district superintendent, ministry, and the assistant to the district superintendent, resources, be accepted as presented. Resolution number 4 states, be it resolved that the audited consolidated financial statements for 2022 be approved as presented. And then resolution number 5, be it resolved that the firm of Norton McMullen LLP, Chartered Accountants, be appointed to audit the district's consolidated financial statements for 2023-2024. So thank you for posting that, and I declare that ballot number 5 for resolutions 3, 4, and 5 are now open. So if you would look in your inbox again to find that ballot, click on that. That will bring you into the ballot itself for you to participate. And while you're doing that, we've got a special report from Rich Janes on behalf of Masters College and Seminary. Please take a look as we watch that together.
Once asked to write a full story in 6 words, legend has it that novelist Ernest Hemingway responded, "For sale, baby shoes, never worn." Though no one really knows whether this came from a personal experience or not, Hemingway popularized the concept of the 6-word story, the art of expressing a deeply personal experience with brevity. With this concept in mind, I put out a similar challenge to our campus students, asking them to share with me in a sentence or two the values they hold most deeply, and which best describes and matches their experiences at Masters. Here are the words they provided, beginning with either M, C, or S. M, maturing in faith. It's a place to grow in faith with the support of faculty and peers. Ministry focused. The school emphasizes being involved in ministry, so students serve in many different ways, which helps us with our character development and prepares us to grow spiritually. Missional. Masters works towards cultivating leaders so they can go out in the world to participate in the ministry of Christ. More than education, MCS has allowed me to grow in my personal relationship with God, my understanding of God's Word, and my ministry leadership capacities. And finally, memorable. It's made some of the best friends and memories here at MCS that I could have had anywhere. Couldn't be more thankful for a school. C, cross-cultural. The school makes every person from every background feel welcome and safe. Compassionate. MCS has not only exemplified compassion toward me and my unique and specific circumstances, but has also taught me how to be a compassionate leader towards others. Connected. Masters does a really good job of connecting the students not only with each other, but also with the staff, and creating a community that is caring and supportive like no other post-secondary school I've ever seen. Collaborative. One of the things that makes MCS so unique is how much they want to see you succeed. From upper years mentoring first years, to academic success tutors, to wellness center staff and more. There's 1,000 ways that MCS is going to take you from wherever you're at and launch you to academic success and also spur your spiritual growth. S, strategic. MCS has been very helpful in opening my eyes to the strategic component of ministry. This was especially solidified when I was able to tangibly see it and practice it during my internship. It has equipped me with the right tools, but has given me the perspective necessary for someone entering into ministry. Specialized teaching. MCS has amazing professors who specialize in various topics of studies crucial for all fields of ministry. Student leadership. Masters provides opportunities that have caused me to grow exponentially in my leadership skills and empowered me for the spiritual, personal, and practical aspects of ministry and leadership. Spirit-filled school. The Holy Spirit is here and working in my life as we go to classes and go to chapel. It's been great to see the Spirit change my heart, even to be more willing to serve God by doing my schoolwork. Now, if students are saying doing schoolwork is equivalent to serving God, then you might agree that we have to call that revival, right? As you hear, good things are going on at the school right now. There's no question we've come through a couple of challenging years, but we want you to know that we're rebuilding something of great value, and our future ministry leaders are telling us exactly that. This past year, God moved in profound ways within the college and the seminary, whether that was on campus or online, in class, chapels, or small groups. Further, the school has reserves in the bank, the debt is nearly gone, our scholarship fund is well invested and actively helping students out. Our MCS Equip initiative, condensed micro courses live streamed for pastors and churches and lay leaders, it's off to an amazing start. We continue to graduate and place credential holders at the highest rate in the country, and we are working strategically to become more accessible, more affordable, and more adaptable as we look to create a sustainable future. I recently read something known as the Romero Prayer of Confession, offered by St. Oscar Romero, who was the Archbishop of San Salvador. It reminded me of the work that Masters does, but also the work we collectively do as ministry leaders here in this district, developing healthy leaders to lead healthy churches. Here's the prayer of confession. It helps now and then to step back and take the long view. The kingdom is not only beyond our efforts, it is even beyond our vision. We accomplish it in our lifetime only a fraction of the magnificent enterprise that is God's work. Nothing we do is complete, which is another way of saying that the kingdom always lies beyond us. No statement says all that could be said. No prayer fully expresses our faith. No confession brings perfection. No pastoral visit brings wholeness. No program accomplishes the church's mission. No set of goals and objectives includes everything. This is what we are about. We plant the seeds that one day will grow. We water the seeds already planted, knowing that they hold future promise. We lay foundations that will need further development. We provide yeast that produces effects far beyond our capabilities. We cannot do everything, and there is a sense of liberation in realizing that. This enables us to do something and to do it well. It may be incomplete, but it is a beginning, a step along the way, an opportunity for the Lord's grace to enter and do the rest. We may never see the end results, but that is the difference between the master builder and the worker. We are workers, not master builders, ministers, not messiahs. We are but prophets speaking into a future, not our own. Our prayer is that the master builder will continue to see fit to use the efforts of Masters College and Seminary in the work of kingdom building. MCS has been planting seeds in the lives of students for nearly 84 years. And for that same amount of time, the pastors and leaders of this district have invested their prayers, finances, people, and resources into our shared mission of training pastors. These are the seeds growing in the lives of our students who receive the benefit from this partnership between pastors, churches, and the school. Just as the Spirit breathed life and purpose into the school in 1939, and out of that vision, generations of leaders were birthed, we are praying that very same thing takes place right now, that the Lord would send more builders. Eastern Ontario Nunavut District, it's been an honor to serve you in this role for the past 10 years. I am grateful for your investment in Masters. Thank you for continuing to partner with MCS and being part of building the future together.
Well, that's a fantastic report. And Rich, I know that you're watching today. Thank you for registering to be part of the conference. And I want to say a word of appreciation to you. You've been our president for 10 years. You were part of the college before that, and you've been a champion of our school. You've cared deeply about the faculty and the staff and the students. I just participated along with you in graduation just on the weekend. That was my first graduation as district superintendent, and I had the privilege and honor of sitting next to you through that moment. Rich, you came in a season where it wasn't very popular to be the president of Masters College and Seminary, and you stepped up and stepped into that role. And we just want to thank you for that. And I want to say to our district that Rich and Kim Janes and their family are us. They're part of our family, our district family. And so I'm asking for everyone who's connected to Rich and Kim through relationship or connection in any way to just express through email, text, a phone call, a card, your thanks and appreciation for the last decade of ministry that they've given. So thank you, Rich, for all of your hard work and your service, and we're praying for you in the days ahead. Friends, I want to share the results of ballot number 5. It was moved and seconded here in studio, and the results, if we can put that on the screen, please, are 100% for all of the resolutions. So we thank you for that. That is now carried. We're now going to move as we're moving along in our meeting to a report from Masters Pentecostal Seminary. So you'll hear a report from Van Johnson. Please enjoy as you watch that report.
Hi, I'm Van Johnson, Dean of Masters College, and I'm still wearing the lanyard from the 2022 General Conference in Winnipeg, Beyond the Impossible. See what they did to the name of the school that I work at, Van Johnson, Masters College and Seminar. Really? Can you give me a why? I'll give you a why. Masters Pentecostal Seminary is significant because we train those who will be ministers in our churches. We train those who already have an undergraduate degree. We train future pastors, we train current pastors, we train staff members, and every once in a while we will train a super volunteer. No interest in being a minister professionally, but they want to up their game in terms of the kind of ministry they can offer their church. Pretty cool. And we offer these people training in a Pentecostal tradition while at Tyndale. Gone are the days when you would choose a seminary based on going to a Pentecostal one or some other really good seminary. You can come to us and receive both. Training in our tradition while studying alongside of and under professors from other traditions. This has been a rich mix for us in ministry preparation. Defining better who we are by studying with others. Are we succeeding? Well, I would say yes. Why don't you ask somebody who's in our program? You could ask Heather Broomer from Oshawa. You could ask Melanie Chandler from Ajax. If you're in the north, you could chat with Chantal Menard, North Bay. But seminary is not just for women. Men can go into ministry too. Ask Gary Campbell from Oshawa how he is enjoying the program. Larry Kozlov from Norwood. Hey, ask Mike Hathaway from Gananoque whether this program is succeeding in terms of their expectations. We think we are, but here are the challenges we face. First of all, the challenges we face with new students. New students come in, and there are often three issues they grapple with. Time, money, confidence. Look, the time thing, most students who come to seminary are part-time. In fact, many students who come have families, careers, ministries, and they do a couple or three courses a year and take 5 to 10 years to finish. If you're coming out of Master's College, the 18-course graduate program that I supervise can be reduced to as low as 13. So you could do this quite easily in 4 to 5 years. The only time issue is, do you have time on a weekly basis to do some reading and reflection and writing? That's the key to success. It's one thing to zoom into a classroom like this one, this is the room, once a week with me, somebody else. It's another thing to be able to have the weekly regimen to make this worthwhile. So time is an issue, but not in terms of how many courses you take, that's up to you. Secondly, money. Yeah, we're partnered with Tyndale, private institution, no government subsidy, so the tuition's a little bit higher with us and our partner Tyndale than you might find elsewhere, but we have programs in place and we're always raising subsidy money. info@mpseminary.com. Money, but confidence. You have an undergraduate degree. You can do graduate work. But Dr. Van, I got C at Masters, Eastern Pentecostal Bible College. Yeah. I've yet to see a student fail because of ability. Life sometimes gets in the way, but not ability. In fact, the common testimony of students is this. I was a C student, and now I'm an A and a B student. And two things have happened to that student. She has now more motivation, and she has matured. And so the kind of work he would have done in school now has produced better grades because of a different situation. That would be your situation too. Hey, bless you. Thank you, Pastor Jason, for the support of Eastern Ontario. Our great challenge as an institution is to continue to raise money for subsidies for students. There's a lot of good people who would like to come. They need some financial help. Would you consider giving to the seminary? If you give to Master's College and Seminary, the college will be thrilled, and I'd be thrilled for them. If you want to help us with subsidies, you would need to specify it for the seminary. Hey, bless you, folks. How do I turn this thing off? Oh, yeah, right. There you go.
That was actually the first time that I saw that video, so I'm enjoying it in real time with you. So thank you, Dr. Van, for your report and all your hard work at the seminary, and it was great to see the graduates this last weekend. So we appreciate you and all the work that you're doing. Friends, we're coming to a very important moment of our meeting, and just before we get there, I want to give a special shout out to Russell Bates in Cornwall. He gave me this t-shirt. I was there celebrating the 100th anniversary of Cornwall Pentecostal Church. And there's been a number of those beginning to happen in our fellowship and in our movement. As we're aging as a fellowship, a number of our churches are catching up with that. So congratulations to Cornwall on your 100th anniversary. Back in the fall, I was at Danforth, which is now part of Stone, and celebrated their 100th anniversary. So congratulations to these churches and all that God is doing. These last number of months, I've kind of been crisscrossing the district. I started in Stone for an ordination for Gavin Petter, which is the most western part of our district. Then I went all the way to Hawkesbury, which is the most eastern part of our district, as a brand new pastor, David Toussaint. He was elected there to follow after James Yank. And then from there, I went far north up to Nunavut to be with Wayne and Linda Moore and meet that church and meet all the leaders of that community. So haven't gone south yet. I'm praying I get to go south soon, but it's been a good journey these last number of months. And I bring all that up to say that we're part of the family. We're part of an organization, a network of people that really, that's what it's about. It's you know, we meet online, we have some fun, and we interact today, but it's the lives that are intersected that make this so important. And this is a moment where we honor those that have gone on to be with the Lord. And we're going to show you just a clip in a moment that is going to have names on a screen with some music. And we're going to stand here in studio in honor and recognition of those that have passed on. We invite you, wherever you are, if you're able to do that, to stand as well. And then we'll come back and we'll wrap up our business meeting together. So if you're able to stand with us, please do as we honor these names. Well, I trust that was meaningful to you as it's meaningful to us. And before I sign off officially here, I would ask you to do one more thing today at some point in your day. Would you remember one of our team members, Amy Bolton? She was my former assistant as the assistant to the superintendent for ministry. She's now Jeff's assistant. She's a great part of our team. She's out west today being with her mother, who's in critical care. And just as we're thinking of her today, we would ask you to just say a prayer along with us at some point, praying for God to intervene and do a healing, miraculous touch upon her life. We'd really appreciate it if you would pray with us in doing that. And it's been moved and seconded here in studio to declare our business session adjourned. Thank you for participating in our business today. I want to say a word of appreciation to all those involved that helped make today possible. You know, it would seem that doing an online conference would be easier. It really isn't. There's a lot of moving parts in production. John Butler and his team here have made it so easy for us. Thank you to Jeremy and Candace and their fun and shenanigans and keeping it light and entertaining for us. We really appreciate them doing that. Thank you to everyone who's here today, Nicole, Godfrey, Ewan, and Crystal for their help in studio, and my wife for feeding us. And, of course, to Cheryl Rogers, who really has been the quarterback of all of these details for a number of months. She has worked a ton to prepare us. So a special word of appreciation for all of these people. And thank you for giving of your time today and being part of this meeting. We hope to see you again all together in October when we have our ministry conference where we're going to have a lot of fun and significant time of ministry. God bless you, friends.
Well, thank you, Jason. Thank you, officers, Cheryl, everyone involved. As he just said, it's been a good morning. It's been a good day.
Great morning.
Got a lot accomplished.
Yeah.
We gave away some stuff.
So fun was had.
Fun was had, hopefully by all. We can't guarantee that. We can't prove that, but we had fun.
We had fun. You made me laugh once.
Hey,
so.
I got you off guard once, so it's been a good day. And we're not done yet.
No.
We have one more prize to give away. Our most recent contest is now wrapped up. It was the I Spy game. And for this one, we're giving away a $50 Amazon gift card. You can buy whatever you want off Amazon, and you can pretty much get anything there now. Just saying. So
just go for it.
If the shoe fits, then it's probably a good size. So, who won this game? Do we want to go right to the winner, or do we want to show the actual?
No, we want to show the. We actually did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We want to
You
prove.
take it from here.
Okay. So we want to prove that we actually did go to David's office and we did take some pictures. And so we're going to ask for the results of this. You were all wondering. So he, in fact, does have a 5-foot giraffe, wooden giraffe in his office. He does also have a piece of authentic wood from the Blue Nose too.
Those two items do
so
exist.
A and B
so
were both
on
there.
That's part of the correct answer.
He also has, what's the next slide there? What else? Oh, yes. So those are the 6 Harley Davidsons on a shelf. They're little, but.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Yeah, 6. And that is the Captain Margarine Trophy.
Award. Awarded in 2015.
2015,
Yep.
yes.
Yep. Just another way of saying that. Yeah, sure.
Sure.
If you want to go that route. Okay.
Shoe fits. So all of those things, those were the 4 items that were in his office. He does not have a book on how to cook vegetables and like them, although he could probably use it.
He is open to anyone who would like to purchase a book like that. He's open to it because he loves vegetables.
Loves them. These are some honorable mentions. That raccoon sits on a shelf behind his desk.
Yeah, we're not sure what the story is behind the raccoon.
But there is a stuffed raccoon in David Blakely's office.
Kind of random, but maybe it's a gift from one of the grandkids or something. We don't know.
We don't know.
Maybe it's to represent the raccoon issues we had at district office years ago.
I think that might be more
That might be more it.
That might be more it.
He was known to, well, we won't get into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that is the boat that the piece of wood of the authentic
That's the Blue Nose.
That's the Blue Nose.
That's a replica. Not the real one, in case you were wondering. But
yes.
Yeah, that's a replica.
That was a very fast boat. My brother quizzed me on that. He's like, do you know what the Blue Nose was? I was like, I do. Anyways.
Yeah. Speaking of quizzes, how do chickens send mail to each other?
I don't know.
In a henvelope. Okay. That's yeah, okay. So the winner. The winner of the $50 Amazon gift card is, let's put it on the screen. This was the first person to get the correct answer, which was A, B, C, and E goes to Katrina.
Katrina Beausart.
Beauchart.
Yeah.
Beausart or Beauchart?
I don't know. I should ask
Maybe we
her.
should just move on.
We should.
We probably should. We've learned today that when in doubt, just move on.
Congratulations, Katrina.
That's
we will reach out to you.
Learned.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jeremy. We will reach out to you and we will get you your gift card. Now
what?
we're done.
We're done? That's it. Just like that?
Well, we're
No
going to
more?
say goodbye.
Okay. One more chicken joke?
Fine. Fine.
What do you get when you cross a chicken with a cow? Roast beef. Got her again. And with that, we should probably sign off pretty soon because they only go downhill from here.
They do. And they're hungry. We should let people go eat lunch.
Yeah. Congratulations to all our winners. In all seriousness. Thank you for engaging with us, whether it was online in the chat. Special shout outs to Ashley for hosting the online chat today. And it's been good. I've had fun.
I've had fun too.
It's been good. And don't forget our special winner today, the 2 nights, $150 voucher for Deerhurst goes to Leanne Lloyd from Millbrook. And we hope to see all of you up at Deerhurst this fall, October. You can find all the details. It's all there on our website, eond.org. And we can't wait to hang out with you in person. This has been good today, but it's going to be even better.
So much better.
In person up at Deerhurst.
So much better when we're in person.
All right.
We can't wait. All right.
Have a great rest of your day. And if you're not in a cluster yet, go sign up right now. We need the Staples button. It was supposed to be here. It's that easy. See you later. Have a great day.
They're done with us.
They're done with us long.
I searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. Man's empty praise and treasures that fade, never enough. Then you came along, put me back together, and every desire is now satisfied here in your love. Hey. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing in Most merciful God, we confess our words, we confess our thoughts. Most merciful God, we confess our deeds, what we've left undone. We have not loved you with our whole heart. We have not loved those as they should be loved. For the sake of your Son, Jesus Christ, have mercy on us. Forgive us. For the sake of your Son, Jesus Christ, have mercy on us. Forgive us.
Most merciful God, we confess our words, we confess our thoughts. Most merciful God, we confess our deeds, what we've left undone. We have not loved you with our whole heart. We have not loved those as they should be loved. For the sake of your Son, Jesus Christ, have mercy on us. Forgive us. For the sake of your Son, Jesus Christ, have mercy on us. Forgive us. That we may delight in your will and walk in your ways to the glory of your name. Strengthen us in goodness by your Spirit. Keep us in eternity.